Hey everybody, good evening. Welcome to the stream. My name is Bernard Chang. Oh, this sounds kind of weird. I got some new headphones in tonight. Um, Always trying to update the stream. I'm a professional comic book artist slash designer. Usually on the stream, we're going to be doing a little drawing, a little sketching. Uh, I forgot my neck brace today. Uh, hmm. Well, welcome everybody. Thursday evening as we count down to Armageddon, which is next Tuesday. I think tonight might be a solo stream, although Sean might pop in and out. Jerry, I believe, is at some kind of fancy event in New York City, so can't be bothered. Uh, Maybe Jim. We'll see. But we do have some fun stuff. I think Sean put some stuff up on Discord. Uh, if you guys want to head over there, we're thinking about giving away some. We're talking about like giveaways, and create this invite. Sean makes toys, vinyl toys, and I also dabbled in it a little while ago. So Sean made these Baby Yodas. If you scroll towards the bottom, update on the stream. I think he says that Mandalorian's coming out tomorrow. I mean, I haven't seen Mandalorian. I'm thinking about maybe having this as a giveaway, but to subs only. Since it's such a nice thing. And then I did one of Tommy Lee Edwards, Snarf, aka Snarf, human Snarf, a while ago. We give that away too, maybe at some point. We want to work on a special vinyl toy for everybody on stream. Make that as like maybe like a. I mean, if I sculpt it, we can make a mold of it and then, give it out. Let me see. Is there a way to create a link? Copy message link. Okay, all right, here we go. Copy message link. This is a link to the Shanshan Yoda, and then this is a link to the Tommy Lee Edwards. Is not colored, and I think Sean's going to be. I don't know if the one that Sean's going to give out is colored or not, painted or not. These are all custom vinyl toys. They're not. I mean, I guess you can say they're toys. I just said they're custom vinyl toys, so I guess you can say they're toys, but not like toys that, to give your kids to play with, because David Arquette bought some. The actor David Arquette, the WCW World Heavyweight Champion David Arquette, bought a couple from Sean a few years ago at a show, and then they broke. I guess, I don't know if his kids were playing with them or, but then we got him replacements, but I don't think Sean's going to issue out any replacements to damaged vinyl, because these things are pretty fragile. So anyways, let me do a quick roll call. I know Carson McKinney has to go to class, so I got you down. When the slices come up, you're in it. Racer GRX, good to see you. Let me know if the volume or the audio is too loud or whatever. D. Rogers, good to see you. Long Wu, how are you doing? Crispy Papa, greetings from Melbourne. C. Jean, good to see you. Actually, C. Jean, these are Uh, they're just regular cheap headphones. Like they're not the expensive kind. These are actually they give these away when you fly on American Airlines. If you don't have headphones, they'll come around and give them to you. So they're free. I got like a whole bunch of them because every time they come by and they say, "Here, have some," and it's in a little plastic bag. So I always have one in my pencil case in case of a spare, in case I maybe one time might forget to bring some headphones on a flight. And plus, I miss flying, so I thought I'd try that. It actually says Avis, the car rental company, on the side. So we'll test it out. I mean, I guess I don't even know why I have it in if I'm not talking to anybody, but we'll see. Maybe somebody will pop in later. Golf Boy Sunday, good to see you. D. Rogers, Matthew Crossart, how are you doing? Golf Boy Sunday. Crispy, I don't know if Jim's awake. Sometimes he goes to sleep around this time. And then he wakes up in the middle of the night. I talked to him last night. Not last night, maybe the night before, like at 3 or 4 in the morning, I think. We're up working, both of us. That's why if there's an intern, the hours might be... hours need to be flexible. Definitely. Yo Jimbo, good to see you. How are you doing? Bill, Original Lot, good to see you. You guys notice anything different today? If you look down at the channel points, I've created a new icon for channel points. It's bird poo. It's a bird dropping. Actually, that's a new emote. I just did another emote. That's the new emote for tier 1. I still have to do some for tier 2 and 3. But that's going to be the third one for tier 1. It still needs to go through the approval process, which I think last time took a couple of weeks. But right now you can enjoy using it as the channel points icon. I also went and you can see the Schnarf. The Schnarf has an icon now. Schnarf. And so does the Tweaky. The Tweaky has an icon specific for those two. Every stream I try to add something new, however big, however small. That way by the time we get to 100, this will start looking like a professional stream. Way, good to see you. RN Ingrid, how are you doing? DY Pickle, good to see you. Patrick West, how are you doing? Sean is a Renaissance man. Well, Sean, again, he went to Carnegie Mellon. Sean has a degree in industrial design. So he knows how to make he's very crafty. He knows how to make a lot of stuff. A lot of fun things. So, his home, he's like completely renovated his house. And, he's still in the process of renovating my room, guest room. And I'm trying to encourage him to build an infrared sauna in there. Because by the time I go visit, I'm going to need to be on a regular infrared sauna basis. And these are all like custom toys. They're made, he mixes all this stuff up. David Arquette, Mr. X, Courtney Cox, yes. But David Arquette is a cool guy. I've met him in person. We have a mutual friend. This mutual friend is, I would consider, a connector. One of those people that just know a lot of people. And this other friend I met when I first moved out here to LA. His name's Cliff. And Cliff's a great guy. He's actually a writer, director, actor. He's a producer. I think the movie Warrior he wrote, the fighting movie, like was it a boxing or MMA? He also used to write on Entourage, and he's been as an actor in a couple movies. But anyways, he's good friends with Arquette, and David Arquette actually got me out of a parking ticket. That's how smooth talker he is. We went to what was it? Cliff was like, "Hey, come hang out with us." Oh, I was bringing him the replacement toys. I think the replacement penguin. Sean used to make these penguins, and sell them at shows, and then there would be a penguin, but then there'd be like various superhero versions of the penguin. Sue Lee, good to see you. How you doing? Finally made it. Yes, Sue Lee, it's been a while. Jamie Odell, good to see you, Jamie. Cool Hand Luke, nice to see you. B Dub, what's up, B Dub? Sue Lee is like, oh, did the emote jump on already? The emote works? I did not know that. Or is that just the channel points that you guys are using? I'm also need to think of a new name for channel points. I was thinking Birdie Poo or Poop. PewDiePie, I don't know, something. I thought we'd fit Channel Poops. That's not bad. Matthew Crossart, Channel Poops. Mr. Joshua, good to see you. Mr. Joshua is trying to buy a Sean Chen piece today in auction and your computer froze. What piece were you trying to buy? Stretched. Thank you. Juicy Jeebus, 25. Thank you. Another channel poop I can add is maybe like use the Theragun. That could be another one. That'd be good. But thank you, Juicy Jeebus. Too woke to talk. Good to see you. Maybe I should add some text to some of the emotes. But we'll see. We'll get there. Oh, there's Sean Chen. Sean's in the chat. It was the cover art for the book called Irresistible. Interesting. So I guess... Oh, those are just... I guess you guys are just redeeming the channel points then. For it to come up on chat. Anyways. I finally got Jackbox working also. But it's like a... Like a... What do you call it? A jury-rigged... Is it jury or jerry-rigged? Jerry-rigged? I'll say jerry-rigged for this stream. I have it running on my main computer over there. You guys can't see it. My iMac 27. And then I have it as a screen share. I'm sharing the screen on this computer. So the graphics are a little like choppy. But we'll live with it. I think that's the one way to play this game right now. So we'll see. We'll give it a test run. I mean, Sean Chen's actually here, so let me see. Let's play a quick game. It's been running all day. Every time it still crashes on this computer, and then I look at the settings, and the settings thing says that my OS is one level. I'm still on. I'm still on Catalina. So the OS doesn't run on this. It's the next one up. So anyways, back to the Arquette story. Yeah, I went to meet up with them at this like a coffee shop. They were like, I think they were drinking and they were smoking cigars. And I parked right next to it, but I guess we were just sitting and chatting and lost track of time. Lo and behold, a little while later, I look over and there's a meter maid writing a ticket for me. I'm like, oh shit. And Dave is like, oh, don't worry, let me go talk to them. So he gets up, he's like, goes over there, he's down the, like, few cars down, so I can't hear what he's saying, but he's like talking to them, and then, yep, sure enough, no ticket. So, Mr. Arquette, thank you very much again. Um, saved me like, I don't know, what's a parking ticket out here in LA? Like $60? I mean, it's tough. $60 for parking parking ticket. Anyways, yes, Warrior with Tom Hardy. That's right. Yeah. Thanks, Yojimbo. So the emote is actually live, huh? That's great. I guess the first few, because I just uploaded them today. So I guess the first few maybe takes a while, and then the new ones, ba-boom. It looks kind of like aftershave now that I'm seeing it in a smaller format, and also seeing it with a black background I have on the pop-up, but then on the regular browser it's on a white background. White background, you can't really see the dropping underneath. So I did actually create a Sean one, but I didn't like it when it came out, when it gets reduced. So I'm gonna have to work on that again. But if you guys have ideas, that's what we're here for. Sean, you would actually really like playing this game. I think it's fun. All right, let me put this up real quick. Thank you for the clip, Too Woke. There's always, I try to throw little stories here and there. iMac 27. There we go. Oh. Okay. Hold on a sec. I had it up earlier, but now. There we go. Okay. All right. Has anybody played this before? Quiplash. We're playing Quiplash today. I think it's just like a bunch of questions. And then, well, I'm going to do some sketching after this, but this is my warm-up. So, yeah, so I think, so if anyone's played this before, let me know. I think I've played this once or twice, but that was with Michael D. Nicola. Michael D. Nicola is another streamer on Twitch. If you guys aren't following him already, I'm assuming everybody here follows him. But make sure to give him a follow. He's on almost every day, I think, in the afternoon. He does some drawing. He does some chatting. He has girls on there. We don't, we have one girl, maybe two sometimes. But cool guy overall. And the first time I was on his stream, he was playing this game. So you can tell it's a little pixelated. But this is how we can work it right now, until I figure out what else to do. So eventually, I think if I stream from my other computer when I do digital art, I think it'll be cleaner or clearer. But let's see. Okay, so should I do play or make your own? There might be a slight delay between the game and the stream if we're playing too. Yeah, but you guys can play along, right? That's the whole thing. So, alright, let's just play a quick game. I think the game is only like a few minutes, so. Oh, what am I doing? I'm clicking the OBS. Make my own. Okay, let's make my own. Let's make our own. Make our own. Okay. So, create a new episode. Or, once you've logged in. Alright, so I guess I have to log in. Jackbox.tv. Enter the room code YDBZ. Enter your name, Bernard, and play. Oh, Matthew Crossart got in already. Alright, I think we can get like... How many people can we get in? There's 4 people. Let's try to get like 7 or 8. Let's fill the room up. Carson, you're supposed to be in class, man. Stay in school. Say no to drugs. Actually, only say no to illegal drugs. The legal ones are okay, I think. Sean, jump in. Sean, save 1 spot for Sean. Come on, Sean. Just open up another browser. Jackbox.tv. And then, alright, well, no Sean. Okay. Matthew, you get to choose what to do. Matthew jumped in there. So we got 8 players. Ingrid is the second lady on the stream. Well, Aurora and then Ingrid. Okay, so waiting for Matthew Crossart to name an episode. Is there audio to this? I mean, there's music playing from the computer, but I have it turned down. Wait, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Once Sean sees this, he'll be like, okay. Chang gang. Okay, so what are we doing here? Are we typing stuff in? Or Matthew is choosing the game? B-Dub. Dodger fans did a number downtown. That was worse than the Lakers. Lakers fans. Yeah, the police, the LAPD strategy. Nothing against LAPD. It's just their strategy. The people up top that give the orders need to really reconsider what they're doing. Again, they're blocking off Staples Center. They're blocking off. What is this? Lakers, Sean, Boba. Is Matthew Crossart? Are you like typing stuff in? Can we create the categories? Like I can't. It just says episode is locked while Matthew Crossart is deciding what to do. So since you were the first one on, I guess your episode code, okay. Alright, I have no idea what that means, but this is the new Quiplash. I got the Jackbox 7. That's the newest pack. Because they said there's a drawing game in this too, where you get to draw stuff, and then it disconnected. All right, let me quit out of this. I'm just gonna play a regular game. All right, Matthew Crossart, you failed us. Stepped up to the plate and struck out. It's okay. Next time we'll figure it out. All right, so I guess you just enter this again. Oh, VJ. We might not be able to play VJQA. Okay. All right, I'm in. Long is in. Matthew Crossart, Ingrid. Press everybody's in to start. Why is Matthew Crossart VIP? Did you hack my computer? I thought I installed Norton. How come Carson gets the poo symbol too? Why is my symbol like an asteroid? All right. Well, we got space for one more person if you want to jump in. Oh, I can select my character here. All right. Okay. I'll be this green guy. I guess it's a green cactus. Okay. All right. It's starting. Wow, I'm so excited. Okay. This animation Quip Lash. Okay. Florida-palooza. Okay. Can you guys hear the audio or what? Or it doesn't matter? Uh, yeah, write your answer on your device now. Alright? So you gotta type this in. What is the question? What was the question? Oh, here it is. Prompt 1 of 2, boba. 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 I have no idea what to write in. Boba Fett. Thank you, Too Woke. Hubba Bubba. Okay. I guess don't say out your, don't yell out what you wrote because then people are voting on it. The most erotic amusement park ride is called, the most erotic amusement park ride. Oh, I got 20 something seconds. Oh. Okay.
Just a few seconds left.
Okay. All right.
Let's make some noise.
All right.
Kicking things off.
Player prompt Sean. Kingpin
Let's vote.
or Moneybags? Kingpin or Moneybags? Who do we? Who votes? Who wrote? Who? I gotta vote Moneybags. Yeah, everybody. Ingrid wrote it. Okay, and then C. Jing wrote Moneybags. All right, so I guess you get a choice of like different questions. Whoever writes the most. Okay, player prompt Boba.
Here's the fun part. Pick your favorite quip.
Bob A. Okay. I guess next time I shouldn't say what I wrote because then you can understand. Yeah, I guess you can guess who wrote what. But it's okay if I don't win. Long. Sorry, Long. 17%. Still not bad.
And here we have a sign. It's time to wrap up your day at the beach.
Sign to wrap up your day at the beach.
All right, people. It's voting time.
Ooh. Gotta go with the gut on this one. Gotta go with the gut on this one. This is kind of like Cards Against Humanity. So I guess eventually people get eliminated
Let's keep it going.
at some point.
The worst thing about being really, really sexy.
The worst thing about being really, really sexy.
Now it's time to vote for your favorite.
Wow. Somebody's tugging at my heartstrings here. Someone is tugging at my heartstrings. No. Carson McKinney knows exactly
Moving right along.
what's in my mind. Shocking thing to discover your kids built out of Lego.
All right, choose your favorite.
This one's a good one. This one's a good one. Guillotine versus a new parent. Barely. That one was close.
Without further ado, the most erotic amusement park ride is called the blank.
The most erotic amusement park ride is called the blank.
Decisions. Choose
Indiana
your favorite.
Jones Temple of Doom or Tunnel of Love. Yes!
Okay,
Yes.
What toddlers would buy if they had mad cash?
What toddlers would buy if they had mad cash? Better parents or infinite
Pick the one
saunas?
you like best.
Somebody knows exactly which one I'm gonna pick. Am I like basically that easy to am I that easy to be oh, better parents one.
That was round one. Let's
Okay,
take a
round
look at
one.
scores, shall we?
How many rounds are there? And then I guess depending on like how many you've won in favor, it's like a peer thing, right? All right, Matthew Crossart's in first place. Obviously, he knows what he's doing.
Welcome to round two.
Okay.
Make up
All
your
points
mind
now are
because
doubled.
the points are doubled and the pressure is on.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Write your answers on your device now. Okay. Okay, I can't tell you which one. What my question is. Gotta think. I need to do a spell check. Is there a spell check on this thing? Oh, I'm running out of time. Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh.
Time's almost up. Hurry.
Oh. Okay. All right. And I got is Wildstorm here? Oh.
Don't let me down.
Okay. Wildstorm's.
Let's break the ice with. If you don't have a dog, why do you have that doghouse?
Okay. If you don't have a dog, why do you have that doghouse? Oh,
Okay,
you
time
mean the
to
man
choose.
cave, or it's for stuff, not kinky stuff? I think the man cave one. I kind of like the man cave. I don't have a dog. Ingrid, congratulations. Long, I'm having new revelations about what I think about Long.
The worst response to send nudes.
Okay, the worst response to send nudes. Sent noodles?
Now it gets real. Pick your favorite.
Send a picture of your naked pet. The worst response to send nudes. Sent noodles. Okay. Whoops. I forgot to answer. I was going to choose send noodles. Sorry, Long. I was going to send noodles.
The world's most compassionate exterminator removes bugs by blank.
The world's most compassionate exterminator removes bugs by
Choose your favorite.
using black magic, playing the soul seduction playlist. Play song, I guess. What I don't know what the Soul Seduction playlist is, but it sounds funny.
And now, you know your dog is basic as when.
Okay, you know your dog is basic as fuck when
Okay, everybody, pick your
they
favorite.
stare at nothing. He has you hide his poop behind a bush. That's kind of special, so I would say they stare at nothing. If your dog is having you, oh shit, can I go back? That's a reference to my gosh, C Jing. That's a good one, C Jing. I completely spaced out.
And next is
You guys are
there should
sharp.
be an emoji that expresses the feeling of blank.
There should be an emoji that expresses the feeling of the wheel
Now, pick your favorite.
or diarrhea. The wheel, that's great. You guys are really sharp. I need to do the stream earlier in the day because that's a good one. I would vote for the wheel. I wrote diarrhea because I had to look up. I always forget how to spell diarrhea.
Next, there is a famous assassin who shows no mercy. They call her blank.
There is a famous assassin who shows no mercy. They call her
All right, vote for the one you like best.
Sue Lee or Anita B. Okay. There's a famous assassin who shows no mercy. I'm surprised there weren't both of the same answers. 100%. 100%. I think this is the first time we got 100%.
I promise not to tell anybody, but seriously, what would you kill for?
Okay. I promise not to tell anybody, but seriously, what would you kill for?
Now it gets real. Pick your favorite.
Uh, I promise not to tell anybody, but seriously, what would you kill for? What would you kill for? Free or why? I don't get it. Oh. Gosh, this clock goes by so fast.
We're 2/3 of the way there.
2/3 of the way there? Okay, one more. I guess there's 3 stages. Okay, let's see who's in the lead now. Ooh, Si Jing in the lead. Wei, was that Wei all the way at the bottom? Come on, Wei. All you need is like,
Crazy final round that came to me in a fever dream.
I'm assuming this is like triple the points.
Requires 3 separate responses. Okay, player 2 looks a little freak, but you'll do great. And since we have an odd number of players, you'll be competing against moi. Lucky you.
Why? Okay. Well, that looks like the inside of an anus, that background. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, what happened here? Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm just saying it kind of looks like it because it looks like a starfish. The inside of it, right? Or maybe the exterior. And then there's like you're preparing a poop to ready to come out, but actually the poop came in. So, see, Sean, isn't this funny? Isn't this a fun game if you were to participate?
Time's almost up. Hurry.
Me too. I don't really understand. I just typed 3 things in. I mean, they gave me a question. It was a question prompt, and then I just typed 3 things.
Okay, it's time.
Okay, it's time. All right, let's do this. This is it. Player made prompt Lakers. Okay, have the most loyal fans or a fly in your soup, yards of bubble wrap, Tower of London. The Lakers, a fly in your soup, yards of bubble wrap, Tower of London. Lakers have the most loyal fans. Okay. I just pushed something. I don't really get this level either. Sorry, Way. 50-50 though. Hey, 50-50.
The 3 steps to having a perfect little morning.
The 3 steps to having a perfect little morning. Wake up, use bathroom, lay back down. Start stream, spin the wheel, no more to get what you get. I think this sounds like Crispy Papa wrote this. Maybe wait next time. I do like the laying back down part though, Ingrid. But that's long. Long gets it.
The 3 steps to surgically removing your own appendix.
The 3 steps to surgically removing your own appendix. Insert probe. Use probe for probing. Probe the probe. Alcohol, drugs. I don't know. My BFF Jill. 3 steps to surgically removing. Oh, maybe I want to go back. There's no way of going back. Both are good. I think I would have changed my vote. It's a tie. It's a tie. Long and I are on the same wavelength. Long has trained me in the ways of TOS.
Menu items you can order at McDonald's.
3 secret off-menu items you can order at McDonald's. Beavis Wings, Butthead Brains, Jerry Shake. That's disgusting. Hambo, Spicy Nugget Sandwich, Spider Ham Sub. You guys are disgusting. Whoever wrote that. I can't believe you guys wrote. Somebody wrote Beavis Wings, Butthead Brains. What about Hambo? Hambo, Spicy Nugget Sandwich, Spider Ham Sub. Spider Ham. Actually, it's Spider Ham Dumplings. 60-40. Yeah. All right.
Glory or tragedy awaits. Let's see the final scores.
You should be able to play on mobile. You just have to go to the site and then use your browser. Oh, I won? I won the inaugural Jackbox Quiplash. Yes. How fitting. Thank you so much. I will accept my reward, which is I found this. I don't know why I have this Cobra Kai dude. And I've had this for a while. I don't know. Somebody gave it to me at a show, like last year. So, okay. Alright. Do we want to play again or do we want to start drawing? Sean, do you want to play? If we play again, will Sean jump in? Sweep the leg. By the way, did Wildstorm SCCG leave? Way. A different game. Play again. Alright, let me do a poll. Let's do a quick poll. I don't want to get out of this. The Sue Lee one was 100%. That's what got me. Took me across the finish line. Let's do a poll. Real quick poll. Play again or draw? What's next? Okay. Uh, let's do a quick 1 minute poll. All right, 1 minute poll. What next? This is completely viewer driven. Play again so far is 29%. No, 93% to 7%. Nobody wants to see me draw. I say if we play again, Sean has to play. Sean Chen, you have to play if we play again. That is the rule. By the way, let me look this up. I got something that is gonna blow Wildstorm away. I'm thinking about giving it away too. All right, it looks like play again is won. Oh, this thing's not as much as I thought it would be. Okay. Matthew Crossart with a 105 channel points. Let's see. 122 subtracted by 105 is... play again would have still won. Okay. Mr. Joshua, you can still hear me, but you've quit watching. Longer the procrastination, says CJ, the better the sketch. That's true. Perhaps, maybe. There's like a fine line. It's like when you're drinking, you know. If you don't drink enough, you haven't caught that buzz. But if you drink too much, you start throwing up. You gotta find the right amount. All right, one more time. One more time. Last time, and then we start playing. Then we start drawing. 51 minutes in. Okay, enter the code. HWHT. Sean, you better jump in. Whoa, what just happened? Everybody jumped in? There's only 4 of us. How come there's only 4 of us? That's no fun. How do we quit out of this? We gotta get 8. How do I quit out of this? Oh, it's the same... Okay. This one's dirty. Yeah, someone hit the button too fast. Matthew, since you're the VIP, I would recommend if you can quit out of this, so we can do it again with 8 people. I think it's more fun if there's more people. Right? Do you have that option, Matthew, on your screen? By the way, I have not drank the Pilsner yet.
You're almost out of time. Don't forget your safety quips.
I can't seem to quit out of this game.
And that's time. Hope we didn't rush perfection. It's go time.
Is there a way to quit out of this?
Let's start with...
Well... Okay, I win automatically. Thank you, CJ.
Here's some points.
Uh, it's been in my fridge for 12 years. So the Pilsner.
Here's the fun part. Pick
Hmm.
your favorite
This is a good one. Sean. Moneybags, or if he was Japanese, he'd be Sean Yen. That's a good one. Well, I guess we're going to have to play this one through. Matthew Crossart got too excited. Does that happen
Next one up.
in
What could you
regular
put
life?
snacks on when nobody's looking?
All you gotta do, Matthew Crossart, is think about baseball.
Nothing like running unopposed. Here's some points.
What Cookie Monster snacks on when nobody's looking?
Next on the docket, Susan has such a youthful glow ever since she started washing her face with blank.
Susan has a youthful glow ever since she started washing her face with
Then
glue
choose her
or
favorite.
radioactive waste. Uh, it's okay. Yeah, just think about baseball next time. Think about baseball. And the other imagery I used, which wouldn't apply to you, but I couldn't think of a good answer for that
Round one
question,
is in the books.
by
Let's
the
see how
way.
the scoring shakes out.
Was There was a moment where I was following, I was walking with Steve Mazarski, who's the former publisher of Valiant,
Double the points, double the
and
anxiety.
he had the Valiant caps had just come out, and he had one, but he had a big head. Okay, sorry. Uh, hmm. Okay, I gotta think. Okay. Okay. Okay, good one. This is a good one. This is a good one. Hmm. Okay. All right. Where was I? Uh, yeah, I guess I can extend the timer too. Then that one would be, um, if we make, I guess so.
Here's where the fun
The
starts.
make the game, I guess we can type our own questions in there, and then we type our own
Prompt number
answers
one
too.
is
So that could be fun.
what magazines
The
do you
draw
not
one is
want
what
to
I'm
see
actually
in the
looking
waiting
forward to.
room of your
So,
doctor's
all right.
office?
A magazine you don't want to see in the waiting room of your doctor's office.
Shower someone with points.
Painmaker Monthly or Fake Doctors Monthly. That was it. That was the easy one. That's good. Yeah, the drawful one. Supposedly the reason I got the Jackbox 7 is that the supposedly the drawing game is better in the Jackbox 7.
Would not go over well on TikTok.
And you can play that on your phone. It's supposed to be that you play on your phone. A video that would not go well over on TikTok. How to protect your identity or make havoc in the sauna. That's pretty obvious right there. Make havoc in the sauna. 100%, yeah.
Let's keep it going.
Is Make Havoc here tonight?
Treasure in a place this player will never look. Where should it go?
See, I need to hide treasure in a place Matthew Crosshart would never look.
And now,
Where should it go? Is someone trying to say that the art too woke? Oh, that's a safety question. That's a safety answer. So obviously this game knows about the Bush.
an underwhelming political slogan from a centrist candidate.
An underwhelming political statement from a centrist candidate.
Time to pick the one you like
Make
best.
America okay once more, or We're there. We're here. We're here. Hmm. Okay. Uh, yeah, Steve is always late. I think I should take away mod uh, mod responsibilities from Steve, and maybe every month, somebody can play mod
Flash.
in his place.
Final round to end all rounds. I'll be sending each of you a prompt
I
that
mean,
needs
both the Lakers and the Dodgers won,
separate
so
responses.
I think
Go
he's
for
got to
it.
be in heaven right now. So he's probably high as a kite. Okay, all right. Last part. Let's see. Hmm. Wow, this is a very personal question. I didn't know Jackbox would like strike close to the heart with these questions. Uh, mm, that's not good. Yeah, see, Gene, it's tough, man. I feel you. 40 seconds. Uh, uh, mm.
Time's running out.
Whoops.
Okay, it's grip time.
I didn't get to finish my answers. There's some dead air. I need to have the music on. The music makes it a little bit more. Uh, okay,
Okay,
Lakers.
choose your favorite.
Win here, win there, win here and there. Best of all time. Sorry, Miami. I can't like either of these. And why is it still Lakers? Is that because Matthew Crossart had punched it in somehow earlier? Is it like every time? Is it like every time we play Jackbox, we're gonna have Lakers?
The three unique things you offer the world
The three unique things you offer the world are my hips, my back, my booty, and sauna experience the wheel
decisions,
blag.
decisions. Choose your favorite.
What is blag? Yeah, I couldn't figure out the third one. But thank you. Thank you whoever voted for me.
I guess this is really happening. Let's see the final
Okay,
scores.
that's it. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I think I lost that one. Matthew Crossart. Congratulations, Matthew Crossart, the number 2 overall historic winner. Okay. Oh, see, we can play with new players. Make havoc in the sauna. That was the top answer. Okay. I don't know how to sit back and relax. All right. Matthew, don't worry about it. We're just ribbing you. It's okay. Uh, okay. Play. How do I get out of this? Oh, that's like a whoopee cushion. I just noticed that. Okay. All right. Well, let's get to drawing. We are an hour in. Well, that was fun. See, Sean, if Sean's still on, you know, how much fun was that? Could have jumped in. Where's my, There we go. Is Wildstorm still here? He is. I thought you were leaving, Wildstorm. I was going to give this away today. I don't know if you want it. You see this? I need to adjust my camera. It's kind of blurry. I think it was kind of blurry last time. There we go. Into autofocus. Look at it. Have you seen this before? This is a Wizard. Remember Wizard? Wizard magazine. It's kind of dusty. But I have never taken this out of the box. Should I take it out of the box? I have never taken this out of the box. It's a Fairchild toy figurine. I think you had to like mail like a bunch of stuff in to get it. Or this. I don't know, is this any good? This is another Wizard Toy Fair exclusive. Wizard had a magazine. Wizard was like the comics magazine. Oh, we need a get back coach. Yeah, somebody want to check the value on that Fairchild versus this. It's a Fathom. Fathom. Is it Fathom or Phantom or Fathom? I think the Gen 13 is like $10. I mean $100. What did I say? I don't see this Toy Fair exclusive. Oh, this one's a little bit pricier. This one's like $15-20. Oh, this one for $35. $35. Huh. Oh, there's one that sells both for 15 or 20, 25. $25. Yeah, I thought this was Witchblade 2 when I grabbed it, but it's actually is it Fathom or Fathom? Oh, it's on Amazon. How is this stuff on Amazon? Do her legs bend? If her legs bend, this is pretty fucking cool. Yeah, I guess her legs bend. $7. Brand new, too. I guess somebody must have had a whole bunch of these. What about the Fathom? Ah, see, here's another one for like $21, $21.50. The Fathom one, I think, it's a little bit bigger. Looks like this one's. It doesn't articulate as much. Like the Fairchild one, you can bend the elbows and the knees, and the Fathom one, you can looks like you can twist the legs, but she's like naked, so, or like half naked. And Michael Turner, so. Yeah. It's kind of dusty. Maybe I'll give those away later. I like how no one believed the guy that checks eBay at least 10 times a day for Wildstorm stuff. um, Fairchild's like 10 to $20. Okay. And is it Fathom? 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 It's not Phantom. I always thought it was Phantom, but it's Fathom. Fathom, like the depths of the sea. Uh, okay. What is this thing? All right. Have you guys figured out what I'm going to draw today? I got to really cut this right around the 2 hour mark today, too, because got some work I got to do. Plus, I got to write up something to, I got to tape something tomorrow, which should be fun, but I got to write up what I'm going to say and then tape it. So we'll start with, I think we'll do a little poll, of course. New poll. What should I draw? What to draw? Okay, Deathblow is the first one. I'll give that. If I draw Deathblow, then I won't give those away. Let's see. Draw Fathom. Yeah, maybe I should draw Fathom. Fathom. I remember there was one time during the summer when I was in college, and I was hanging out at the pool during the summer with my buddy Gonzalo down in Miami, and there was a kid that was like into comics too, like a younger kid, and he was like Mephisto. Matthew Crossart with Vlad the Impaler. Well, I guess because Halloween's coming up. Okay, I'm going to put Fathom in there. Colossus. Lurky Lurk says the Max. She-Ra. Gotta be something Halloweeny. Snow Job in a Snowstorm. Yes. Hellboy, Shadowhawk, Grendel. Yeah, maybe something maybe something Halloweeny. I'll take out Colossus. He's not very Halloweeny. I got 3 more options left. So, Venom. Maybe Venom. Casper the Friendly Ghost. Way says Zantana. Pit, says Ingrid. Pit. Pit's not that easy to draw. Those big characters are not that easy to draw. Plus, Pit has such this rendering on the hatching. Fairchild. I guess I could draw Fairchild, but Invisible Woman, that's a good one. Casper. Casper the Friendly Ghost. Alright, I'll put Casper up there. He's in a Geico commercial now. Colossus Baby. Halloween is night. The Mandalorian starts tomorrow. Jack-o'-lantern. I will send. Yeah, if Long Wu wins, Long Wu gets a blank piece of paper, signed, of course. I mean, it wouldn't be worth anything if it wasn't signed. Hawkgirl hanging out with Beavis and Butthead. That's a little too many characters. Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger. I have 1 slot left. Deathblow, Fathom, Venom, Casper. I'm going to take out Deathblow. Freddy Krueger. I'm putting Freddy Krueger. I used to like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Freddy Krueger. Cause as a young kid, I mean that's like you watch those rated R movies. It's the only time you can see boobies. Um, Mr. Joshua said you should draw a Halloween pic when it gets closer to Halloween. Well, I think when's Halloween? Saturday? I don't think we're gonna stream. I don't know, maybe Saturday, but maybe Sunday. So the next stream might be too late. Might be past Halloween. Moon Night. But it is a good point. Candyman. Candyman. I'm not too familiar with Candyman. Howard the Duck, Frankenstein, Pinhead, Vampirella. Pixaholic, we drew Vampirella a few streams ago. I already shipped out the art, otherwise I would show you guys. Usually I would show you guys old art, but it's all shipped out. Well, not all of it, most of it. I should pat myself on the shoulder. Hobgoblin, Scarecrow, Green Goblin. Green Goblin would be like Jet Jaguar, very similar. Morticia, Scarecrow. Morticia. What about Elvira? Elvira. Elvira. Yeah, who was it that didn't know who Elvira was? Wednesday Adams, Morbius. Draw Sean as a dragon sitting upon his mound of gold. That's a good one. That's a good one, Wildstorm. B-Dub, Freddy. Who was it that gave the suggestion of the microphone from the last stream? Sean Chen says Wednesday or Morticia. Okay. I'm going to take out Fathom, because Fathom is not really Halloween based. And I'll put Morticia in there. Alright. Too Woke chimes in with a third Morticia vote. Okay, we got them all. We got them all figured out. Fathom is going to have to wait until next stream. Possibly. But next stream I think I'm going to try to do the character stuff, like the character invention. Keep talking about that. Been putting it off. Yeah, so, gosh, Suli is so vulgar today. Screw Fathom. Okay, all right. Here is the list. What to draw: Elvira, Morticia, Venom, Casper, Freddy Krueger. 2-minute poll. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. You can use your bits or you can use your channel points or channel poops. Go. What to draw? Let me scroll back down. I missed a whole bunch. Crypt Keeper, Wolfman, Wolverine. Sorry I missed all these. Wildstorm, SCCG. You were the one that recommended the microphone. Great job. Great job. Got a lot of people liking that drawing on Instagram. Got a bunch of likes. Good job. Well, see, that's Sean's on the right path. Sean is on the right path. So let's see. Elvira is leading 116, 120 votes. Morticia is in second place. So Elvira is 51%. Morticia is at 25%. Venom, 15. Casper, the Friendly Ghost, at the bottom with 0%. Not even one single vote for Casper. Freddy Krueger rounding up fourth place. Elvira and Morticia, we're halfway through. 1 minute left in the poll. Elvira, Morticia, neck to neck, 46-23. Elvira is one boob in front of Morticia, maybe two boobs in front of Morticia. Now Venom is creeping up. Venom and Freddy Krueger are creeping back up. Morticia, Venom, Freddy Krueger practically tied for second place. Elvira is slipping a little bit. She's went from 40 something down to now, well, she was at 50 something. Now she's down to 37%. Venom is making a a last-minute sprint. We're heading down the final stretch. We have Venom at 30%, Elvira at 36%. Venom is creeping on Elvira. Can Elvira hold onto the lead? It seems like everybody's given up on Morticia. Everyone, Freddy Krueger is falling behind. Morticia's back in 4th place. We have less than 5 seconds left. 4 seconds left. 3, 2. Venom has won. I can't believe you guys chose Venom over Elvira. I mean, you want to look at like a dude with like fangs over like boobies? Sean, what are we gonna do? Everybody who Matthew Crossart with 411 channel points. Did Matthew Crossart push it over the edge for Venom? What about Venom Elvira crossover? So that Elvira is turning into Venom? Kevin P. West, you just read my mind. Venomized Elvira. Venomized Elvira. Okay. I think I'm going to do the Venomized Elvira. I mean, Matthew Crossart is like dominating tonight's stream. Right? Oh, by the way, it's my gold comb. Yeah, he dominated the Jackbox game, and now he's dominating the poll. Okay. I think I will do a Venomized Elvira. Vote breakdown. Let me see the vote breakdown. Okay, 38 to 33%. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Morticia actually had more people voting for her. But the people voting for Venom used more channel points. And Elvira used more channel points. So Morticia, people that wanted to see Morticia were kind of frugal with the channel points. I know why you're saving up those channel points too. Matthew, tonight is just ribbing on Matthew night. I hope you like it, buddy. We always find, since Jerry's not here, we can't pick on him. Sean's not here on the Discord. So, all right. Venom Elvira it is. Venomized Elvira. That's the best of both worlds. I mean, the Morticia, people that liked Morticia, you gotta learn the game here, the rules of the game. Okay. Elvira has like, does she have like? I gotta look up reference. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. She has like big hair, right? Like a big hair, like big hairdo. B-Dub said something funny. Yeah, Suli's gonna win, so I should just draw what she wants. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying not to do much thinking today. Ooh, what's happening with the green screen? There we go. Okay, Elvira has like this huge hair. And then, Morticia would have been a smaller hair, but Elvira. So let's see. Let's do a quick. Thank you, Yojimbo. Yes, that's a pretty classic pose. So, if I were to draw her hair, it's usually like. I mean, that's the big. Well, I guess there's two recognizable aspects to Elvira. It's that and like her boobs. So if I were to, this is just like planning it out. If her hair is, yeah, okay, I guess. Is she scared? Is she afraid? Well, we also need a get back coach. Suli, you're gonna be a get back coach tonight if you hang around for the if we start getting too into a boys' locker room talk. You gotta get back, and then well, Carson's studying class right now, so we're gonna need like another youngster to be the get back coach for the contemporariness. I don't know what's another way of saying that. Yeah, well, this I'm just like I'm just doing a. I'm just doing a quick sketch. She has like heavy makeup. So I think, what about this? Something like this. Maybe her head's tilted back. But then Venom is like looking at her breasts. I don't know. Well, that's yeah. So the Venom is kind of like her hair, right? Since her hair is like kind of poofy up here, and then how low does this go? Something like that. All right. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can do this at another angle. More of a down shot. Bird's eye. What was this? Bird's eye? And then we're going to do this cutting off the limbs part. So we're not going to worry about the cropping. I would think she'd be scared. Do you think she's scared or is she like happy? Exactly. Sean and I were like kindred spirits. So bird's eye for the cleavage. Because you always like looking down. But she's happy. Okay. Alright. So yes. Sorry, Sully. Sorry. She's happy that she's being venomized. Well, Elvira is the mistress of the dark, but this is an alien. Right, so Maybe she's met her match. I don't know. I always like drawing this biting of the lip thing. But are there any other, are there any factors, other it doesn't really fit this caricature. Oh, actually, yeah, I don't think Jim Chung's coming on tonight. I just remember he told me he had plans for the night. I mean, he might call me later and say there's extra sushi. Ryan Benjamin did a Mary Jane Venom mashup. I think there's been people that have done that Mary Jane Venom mashup before. Didn't J. Scott Campbell do one? I mean, if we did a Venom Jerry mashup, that would be amazing. And then I'm thinking this is kind of like the Elvira sketch where the black Venom symbiote. How do you pronounce that? This is why I really need Sean on stream, but my pronunciation of technical terms like fathom or fathom. Is it fathom? What is this Instagram? There was a Gwenum. Yeah, I talked to Ryan the other day. Maybe try to get him on, or we do a. Okay. Maybe get him on or do a duo cross stream. We should call it, when we do a cross stream, we should do it like a Ghostbusters theme, because you're crossing the streams. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. How happy is she? Is she like super happy to see Venom taking her over? Or is she like mildly amused? What's the motivation here? That's what I'm getting at. To me, story is the most important aspect, right? If there's a story element to it, I'm all game. Otherwise, first of all, how did Venom cross into the Elvira universe? Is this a Marvel book, or is this a... does anybody publish Elvira comics? No, let me move this over. I don't know if I like this face. The nose is a little too pointy. I'm looking at it. It's, I think I want to have her head look... tilted back a little bit more. So I'm thinking maybe she's like almost enjoying this Venom, like she's gonna be almost like that Spider-Man pic where she's almost gonna be kissing him. Dynamite publishes? Okay. Yeah, is this a Marvel crossover, or is this a... well, I mean, of course, but Is this a book that's being published by Dynamite or Marvel? Because then one company's going to want their character to be more dominant. Right. Are they fighting? Is she happy that Venom is taking over her, so that because she knows there's no that's the way that she's going to win is by all of these factors go into every single drawing. I mean, how the rest of it plays out. Oh, Wildstorm. Okay, I gotta hydrate with the poop. Thank you. Okay, Wildstorm. Well, good night. Sleep tight. I guess I'll give the Phaethom away next time when you're here. If you're falling asleep, I'll give you a chance to win this. Yeah, there's something about that pose I didn't really like. I want to have her eyes... Ooh, what just happened? That scared me. KWJ98, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Tonight we're drawing Elvira and Venom mashup. I should rename, once I'm done with this, rename the stream Matthew Crosshearts Special. Since, well, Matthew Crossheart and Sue Lee Special. There we go. I think this one's a little bit better. Her eyes are a little like down, you know, so she's, because her character is that she's the, what is the mistress of evil? Wildstorm, have you worn the watch, or is it sitting in the box? In any case, if you head out, happy holidays. I think Elvira is known for having like cheeks, right? Like, but I can get away with it not being 100% like her. Yeah, it's like really a lot of eye makeup, eyeshadow. Okay. I can still hear the jack. Can you guys hear the Jackbox music in the background? Suli's one recently, within the last month, I think. Crispy Egg Roll won last one, but he's also won like a bunch when he hasn't been here. This is also another. So this part, what is this part of the neck, Sean? My favorite part of the neck. The sternum mascus, sternum something. Sternum masochus, sternum superior or something. Is it the sternum something or no? I am on Discord. Oh, you're on Discord? Oh. Alright, now I'm on Discord. What? I think we have a visitor tonight. Sean, it's not the 9th inning yet. This is probably like the 6th inning. Beep, 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 beep. All right. Yes. Hey,
Can you hear
Sean.
me? Okay. Cool.
All right. Welcome to the stream. Let's give a big hand of applause. Big round of applause.
Big hand of applause.
Well, just one hand. Big hand of applause to Mr. Sean Chen. Sean Chen's professional comic book artist / industrial designer. Is there a difference between industrial and industrious designer?
I don't know. What's an industrious designer?
Someone that works very hard. Sean also, Sean was the artist on Batman Beyond and is now working on a top secret project for Marvel, although we kind of gave it away last stream. We talked about it last stream. But Sean has the longest modern day run on a single title, comics, professional comics. 3 years on Iron Man, followed by 2 years on Wolverine.
Is this all verified, or are you just making this up?
Oh, it's like 3 years, right? Something like that.
Yeah, well.
I mean, who's gonna check? Comic book IMDb is like offline now, so non-stop. You drew like 20-something issues non-stop. What was X-Men the end? 16 issues non-stop.
That was 18.
18 issues, no fill-in artists. That's amazing. I don't think anybody can do that anymore these days.
And it was 18 issues of Chris Claremont.
18 issues of Chris Claremont, with each issue as thick as the Bible, the script. So, did I miss something? Oh, Roy, thank you for the sub. Thank you, Roy. Thank you, Roy Batty. I'm thinking about, should I come up with like a song and dance for when people sub? I don't know. I see Domo does that. It's kind of funny.
That you would dance, sing and dance, or
something. But you know,
or you draw something.
No, I mean, ideally I might do something, but because my head is, everything else is green screen, it would be kind of difficult. I mean, Domo gets like really hyped up, and he does like a song, like a kind of like a something like a little song. You know what I mean? When you sub on his channel.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Kreese has some kind of dancing octopus or something like that.
Oh, really? Well, if you follow, somebody hit the follow button. Somebody out there. I know there's a lot of people watching. Make sure you hit the follow button. Where's my follow button? Oh. Where's my follow button?
So is this sketch kind of in the save zone where it doesn't get erased anymore?
Almost. I'm just like fine tuning the pose, but I think the pose is pretty much, I'm pretty much set. I was contemplating. Her chin is a little long.
Well, okay. If I were to look at Elvira, what I would see as her characteristics, um, I think the first thing you notice, well, there's obviously her hair, but
Mm-hmm.
then the first thing you notice is there's a part of your eye called the carunculus, which I
Mm-hmm.
think people call the tear duct.
Yeah.
It's the part of your eye that's closest to the nose.
This part.
She does this makeup thing that she exaggerates it and draws it so it touches her nose, so it's kind of weird. Like her eyes end up being too close together.
Well, her eyes are kind of close together. I've seen her without makeup. Uh, her eyes are like I think generally a little bit closer. But yeah, okay, that's a good point. I noticed
So
that too.
then the other thing is she's got a nose that's thin and sharp like a knife.
Yeah.
And then yeah, she has a very small chin, very not very pronounced chin.
So I need to bring the chin down. So is the drawn version? Where was that link to the DC version? Okay. All right. Okay. What are you working on tonight, Sean?
Marvel thing,
Nice.
a big battle high above 1960s Manhattan.
What was that? What was that auction that Mr. Joshua said he was bidding on that he didn't win?
Well, it's one of the covers I did for Zenoscope a long time ago.
Oh,
Actually, I have no idea. I thought I still had that piece, but I guess
somebody
it
stole
sold
it.
a while back.
Somebody stole it.
Yeah, someone bought a bunch of stuff, and I think he's selling it off.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you about some stuff today. I'm glad you came on.
Okay, this is something you want to talk about on stream?
Yeah, we gotta. I mean,
Okay.
I was gonna talk to you off stream, but then I figured it's kind of an interesting topic, and maybe we should discuss it. It's not political.
Okay.
I mean,
No hot takes.
we're saving all the politics for Tuesday, right? We're gonna just get it all out there. Next Tuesday, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk some politics next Tuesday.
Not me.
No, okay. Why not? You can talk both sides.
No, no, I don't. I just don't think it's. I don't talk politics.
Okay. Well, does Venom have teeth like a shark, where there's like multiple layers?
It's whatever you want. Yeah, the big, long white teeth.
Hmm. Okay.
That's very cool. I think I can really see the Elvira. So how far down does this drawing go? Because it's kind of cut off. So
Oh,
do you
sorry.
get that?
There, you get to see the cleavage.
Okay.
I mean, this is the most important part right here, right? So, okay, I got an email yesterday. I think it was yesterday. It might have been today. From a comics news site. You probably got the same email. Looking to increase its Patreon or opening its Patreon account. Asking for donations.
I did not get that.
You didn't get that? You're not a subscriber? So, this is a very trustworthy comics site.
There are no. Well, I guess what's that one? Is it Comicron or not Comicron? There's a couple. There's maybe one that's actually trustworthy. The other ones are all either shills or they're doing clickbait stuff. But,
Well,
or they have an agenda. So.
or they have an agenda. Okay, maybe this one might have a slight agenda. But I'm just curious, like, they're very proud that they don't do hardly any clickbait stuff. But they just have the website, right? And I looked at their Instagram page, and I follow them on Instagram. But their Instagram page doesn't post very regularly. You know, the thing with like the very clickbaity news site, they post, you know, every day, and they post the stuff around the clock during the day. So if you go on it, there's likely some new stuff updated right throughout the day. You know which site I'm talking about, right?
The one that emailed you, or the one that does the clickbaity stuff?
The one that does the clickbaity stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the one that doesn't do the clickbaity stuff that you think maybe has an agenda, or slight agenda, I feel like that site is probably the most legitimate. Since that person that runs it, I think, has a background in journalism, right? I mean, we talk about comics news sites. When they say comics journalism, it's like you got to really, I don't know. Most of the people are just not professional journalists by any means. But I mean, because I used to, at one point in high school, I was thinking about becoming a journalist. I was the editor-in-chief of my high school newspaper. I was also in my junior high newspaper. So I had done a lot of newspaper stuff. In the junior high newspaper, we had won a few Columbia University gives out an annual award to like student publications. And so we had, every year we won a bunch. And then also when I was in high school, we won a bunch when I was the editor-in-chief. So at one point I was considering going to Northwestern to study journalism. It was a very, like, I think I considered it for like a couple of weeks. It wasn't a heavy consideration, but it was, you know, I was thinking about it.
Wow.
I mean,
I did not know that ever.
I knew
It's
enough
a good
that,
thing you didn't do it.
well, I knew enough that it was either Columbia or Northwestern were the two big schools for journalism, right? Did you know that, or is that true?
No.
Your Jimbo? Northwestern was known for their journalism school in Columbia. So, anyways,
I know Columbia is, yeah.
so this site, and at least in the email when it's like, it was sent out saying that they're opening up the Patreon account and asking for donations. Prided itself in just being, or at least maybe I misunderstood the email, just being a internet site that you click on with news updates. They talked about not being clickbaity. They talked about not being sensationalist. But when I looked at it, I was thinking, like, I don't know if that's the right way to present yourself, because, you know, obviously, I guess they're looking for donations. They're looking for funding. There are other sites or other places online that are thriving right now, and you know, we've talked about this off stream, in that options for consumers, depending on the kind of consumer you are, options are either extremely vast and open, or there's funneled. And the ones that are kind of funneled, because there's not that many options for those customers, the few that do cater to them have a massive income, right, or revenue generator. But that other comics companies that are competing with, because most of the comic companies have a separate kind of like viewpoint. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, like, I feel like they're actually proud in not adapting to the times And adapting to the times is not. I'm not talking about like clickbait stuff, but I'm talking about um, uh, how can like we're trying to adapt to the times here, right? Sketching online. Um, something just happened. Uh, Scalpay, thank you for the follow. Clown Sickness 29, thank you for the follow. Um, like I feel like if they did some stuff that was on YouTube, or if they did some stuff that were video, or that they try to maybe be a little bit more current in terms of the technology, as opposed to relying to a newsletter. Um, I feel like you shouldn't be. There's a part of being an entrepreneur that you have to adapt to the times, right? So right now we're seeing a shift in the comics industry, right? You would agree to that, right, Sean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did we lose Sean?
No, I'm here.
I think we lost Sean. So
Hello?
maybe we'll get him when he comes back. Maybe he went to the bathroom. I don't know. But I feel like as an entrepreneur, you have to adapt to the times. And, part of that is you see.
Wow. Okay. I guess Bernard
The
can't hear me.
argument of drawing for the big two, drawing for Marvel or DC versus self-publishing. We've seen an incremental rise in self-published work.
Blah, 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 blah.
And also crowdfunding, and those being actually very successful campaigns that have now challenged the original format of being a comic book artist, where traditionally you think being a comic book artist is you have to work for Marvel or DC. And now, because of crowdfunding, the options are different now, right? You have more options. Even not even crowdfunding, but like webtoons, other kind of technologies. So Sean did a crowdfunding and did very well with it. Can you guys hear Sean? Huh. What's going on? Because I can't hear him.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Bernard? Bernard. Oh.
It's my headphones. All right. Give me a sec. If you guys can hear Sean. But his Discord. Okay. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool.
I guess you get what you paid for, and I didn't pay for these ones. So, what the hell? You've been on the whole time? Let me throw this shit out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw these out.
Airplane headphones.
Yeah. I mean, they're black, so I thought, oh, that would blend. It wouldn't, like these you can see.
Wow, you keep those airplane headphones. It's mighty Chinese of you.
They're free. I have them as backup in case something happens to my regular ones, or I forget them or whatever. So, anyways, what were you saying? I didn't catch any. You talked for a little bit. I didn't catch any.
No. Well, yeah, I hear what you're saying about. I don't know which news site you're talking about. I think you said something about them doing a newsletter or something like that.
Well, they used to have a newsletter, right? And then,
Yeah.
but part of the incentive, quote unquote incentive, to subscribe to their Patreon is like you get, if you reach a particular level, you get a newsletter.
Oh
with
wow.
like
Okay.
with like
Please.
three things that they're not going to put on their website. And I'm thinking, why would you not want to put it on your website? I mean, maybe,
Well, it's the Patreon thing. You
yeah, but
gotta hold something back.
you do have to hold some stuff back. But maybe you release it first, and then you get the news first early in the morning, and then they'll release it later in the afternoon, or you get it like today, and then they'll release it tomorrow. But why would you hold anything back?
You know, I found that if you kind of just if you go on YouTube and there's a bunch of uh, news sites. Oh my god, I can't hear Bernard now.
You can't hear me now?
Oh, maybe it's just a delay. So if you go on YouTube and you watch a bunch of those videos like regularly, a lot of them post once a day or three times a day.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually get the news faster than you would like when those news sites put up stuff. It'll go up once, um, but it may not even come up first. But
Right.
you can on YouTube. There are people who post stuff on YouTube three times a day.
Yes.
So anything that's breaking, and they'll also troll Twitter and everything. They'll bring news from all over the place. So if there's any chatter out there, a lot of times I hear it first on like typical YouTube uh, news sites.
Well, I
And
wouldn't call them news sites. Are
well,
they
yeah,
news sites?
they're
They're like
they're mostly opinion stuff.
they're like gossip.
Okay.
That's the news. That's yeah. That's like all right. That's like saying somebody with $100 is a bank.
Right. So if those legitimate news sites had a YouTube channel, I think that would really help their case.
Right.
But
So that's what I'm getting at. Is I feel like they need to like there is a model that is working, right? All these YouTube channels are getting views, um, and they're generating revenue, right? So there is some kind. Can you hear me, Sean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
there is something to that, and there's something about adapting to the technology and adapting to the times. And I don't think there's any level of you don't have to suffer. You don't have to give up any of your integrity. It's a different kind of format and different kind of delivery. So, um, because the all the stuff on YouTube is gossip, is um, opinions based on minimal information, right? They actually get their information, I'm assuming, off of these websites, and then they go and pontificate on YouTube about it. Um, well, I mean, some of these sites, news sites, should also establish some kind of online presence, right? So that if they're going to be, I mean, part of journalism, right? Because journalism is, you're only supposed to report the news. You have to be as objective as possible. The language that you use has to be objective as possible. You're merely a vehicle, a vessel to take one thing and give it to someone else. Right? That's journalism. So most of the sites don't do any of that. None of the YouTube stuff do any of that because the YouTube sites are not news. They're pure opinion. They're not even qualified opinions sometimes. They're just random opinions from random people, right? So, I would like say stuff that you say, Sean. I would give it a lot more credence because of your level of professionalism and experience in the industry, right?
Well,
Um,
I think the general problem with news is that news can be very boring and very dry. So there's that saying in journalism, like if it bleeds, it leads. So a lot of times there's no bleeding going on. But when you go to those opinion sites, like Bleeding Cool can take a dry news story and spin it so that it does bleed.
right, but that's not
And
news
then,
though. That's not
right,
journalism,
that's not news.
right?
But then that gets listened to, and that becomes the truth because it travels farther than the dry news.
It becomes the accepted version of what's happening. I wouldn't say the truth because now again, you're using language that substitutes, that in theory substitutes, but what it does is it completely repaints it. So it's not the truth. It's an opinion
Right.
um, based off of factual information. So you look at a
Yeah.
drawing,
And
you look at a solicitation, and then they pontificate based off of whatever background or history that they have, or what they like or don't like.
Right. So in general, like fake news spreads faster than real news, and then it's compounded by the fact that Marvel and DC don't do any counter programming
Yes, they
and
don't
say
do it
like,
right.
yeah, they're just kind of silent. And I think they're thinking that you don't dignify things with a response, so that they're taking the higher ground, quote unquote. But really, what's happening is that whatever is said by those the sites that spread gossip, that becomes the truth, even though it's not. And then that spreads more, and then the fallout is, I think maybe Marvel or DC, maybe they can take those hits or whatever. But when it comes to the creators involved, like you and me, I mean, we're trying to feed our families with the comics we create. If they spread some crap about it that's not true, you know, we really can't do anything about it. We just,
Yeah,
you know, we just take the sales.
but you got to understand too, though, Sean, the stuff that they're spreading, the crap that they're spreading, it's not just about the two companies, because those books aren't created. I mean, those books are created for the two companies, but that stuff also affects the people that are working on it.
Right? Yeah, that's what I mean.
So it does then affect you, even though
Yeah,
they think they're blasting the company, they're blasting the people that work on it as well. And
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
yeah, but anyways, I just want to get to the point where I feel like, you know, some of these news sites need to be a little bit more proactive and more adapting to the times. So I've always respected this person that's running this site. Um, I've known her for many years. I feel like she's probably one of the more credible people um, in the comics journalism field. Uh, but I also do feel like there should be an effort to adapt.
yeah. But even if they do adapt technology-wise or whatever platform they're on, they're still
They're behind. They're behind the
bound to
times.
tell.
Hmm?
They have to tell the truth, which oftentimes is really boring.
Right. They can't. Well, look, but that is journalism. That's the whole thing about journalism. Is journalism is basically bringing you the information, right? And so a lot of times the companies are issuing press releases or solicitations, and you're reporting on that. Now, the journalism part, or the investigative journalism part, comes in actual effort that um, you have to, uncover something, or you have to do a deep dive. How many times have we done interviews for comic sites, and they send you a list of questions, right? And they're like the most generic questions, and it's like every time you do an interview, it's the same. If they even interview an artist anymore. I mean, that's the other thing, is if they even interview an artist anymore. Most of the time, they just interview the writer. Um, and like, to me, that's like, if you were to talk about if you were to talk about a relationship, a married couple, but you only talk to the husband and you leave out the wife, well, you're not learning anything, really, right? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you mean. But yeah, it can't be. I don't know. But this news is comic news. That's imagine if like I think there's probably a group of people who, or a lot of people who collect Pokemon cards. So like Pokemon card news, to us it seems laughable, and I think to most people when we talk about what the problem is with comics journalism, I think most people will think like, what's the big deal? It's comics, so why not just it should the news should be entertainment, and it doesn't have to be true because you're not hurting anyone because it's just comics.
Oh, you're hurting people.
Yeah, to us, yeah, we are hurting people, but in the end, it's just comics. So
Well, look, when I was doing the sauna research on what saunas to buy, there's a whole rabbit hole of people that do reviews and YouTube videos and things like that, and depending on who you follow, who you listen. Like, the brand that I bought was Sunlighten, And there's other competing brands. There's a Clear Light saunas, and then there's a Health Mate saunas, I think. And the Clear Light saunas are, by most reviews, kind of the best in the industry. Um, uh, Most of the people that review that have saunas, they try to steer people to that. But there's also a cult-like following, where um, there are a lot of people that will only steer you towards Clear Light, as opposed to the Sunlight.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyways,
Do we need a get back coach for this topic?
yeah. Is this topic a get back about topic, or is it actually engaging? I mean, we've had like 2 or 3 followers during this discussion, so I don't
Well,
know.
comics
Maybe
journalism is a big issue, but to us it is the industry people. So,
and
but
the
man,
thing
you've been
with,
there.
oh, sorry, go ahead. See,
Oh, the
look, we
things,
got,
things
got another follower.
it's impressive that you can talk about this thing and be so focused on it and then still draw.
2 pound 2 pound dump. That's a heavy dump. How much do you think shit weighs, Sean? Does it weigh the same? Like if you eat something that's really heavy, and then you crap it out the next day, are you crapping out the same amount of weight?
It is pretty heavy. Um, you'd be surprised because it's mostly like how much water is in it. It's heavy because
Yeah.
I mean I have kids, so I have to deal with it all the time.
I mean, but I don't have a dog, so I'm like wondering if they like carry around a dog poop after they poop, on the street. You gotta like get a bag. How heavy is that stuff? And then and dogs, you're eating like dried foods, right? But humans were eating like meat, vegetables, fruit. So is that like heavier than if you were to eat like kibbles and
I don't
bits?
think so. I think it's mostly the water that makes a difference.
Yeah. If I eat like uh, uh, how
Rocks.
well, how heavy are steaks? Like a couple pounds? If I eat like a 3 pound steak, if I eat like 16 ounce steak, 1 pound steak, does it come out 16 ounces or does it come out like 14? Right? And then how do you gain weight? I mean, it's fat or muscle. I mean, I don't know. Anyways, see what happens. 2 pound dump. Uh, when you go on other streams and you follow them, do they start going this in depth based on your name? 2 pound dump eats a lot of cheese and beef.
Oh God.
I mean, man, when you sweat, it must smell, right? If you eat a lot of meat, when you sweat, it smells a lot. Yojimbo says including more fiber in the diet tends to increase stool weight. See, and fiber is like fairly light because that's like wheat, right?
Yeah, but fiber absorbs water, so it's like a sponge.
Okay, there you go. So the water theory is standing up to any kind of debunking. Anyways,
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Like, when nature calls, if you go immediately, then that's when it's the heaviest. But if you're busy, you're in the car or whatever,
yeah.
the water reabsorbs into your body, which is cool because you can use that water. But then as a result, you have this very dry. Yeah.
Sometimes the poop is oily.
Oh God. Okay.
Sean's been trying to get me to tell my bowel movement story. I have a few bowel movement stories.
Yeah. The story is called Crapple.
But I said I would tell the story once we reach 1,000 followers. So we're almost there. We're a few hundred out. So if we reach 1,000 followers, I'll tell that because it's very embarrassing.
You have a surprising number of these
Huh?
stories of poop stories.
Well, poop stories, yeah. Another poop story I have is when I talk to Jim Chung on the phone. He'll confirm this next time he comes on. Make sure to remember to ask him this. Jim Chung is like a diuretic to me.
Okay. What is it? Because he's so dull or something? Or
No, dude. When maybe it's his voice, right? I gotta test this out by like talking to
is
another
it
British guy.
ASMR? It's ASMR relaxes
It's
your bowels.
exactly. I'm thinking like, is it ASMR? Is it like the British accent? Is it just Jim? I don't know. But every time I talk to him, at some point in the conversation, I go to the bathroom and do a number two. Even if I start
And
thinking I'm doing a number one, I end up sitting down doing number two.
is he still like on the phone with you that whole time?
Yes, yes. I mean, I hit the mute button whenever I'm not talking, or when I'm like mid squeeze, because I don't want to gross him out. But eventually he figures out, like, he's like, you're on the toilet now, aren't you? So I'm like, yeah, sorry. It's just something about talking to him.
Lurky comes the bowel whisperer.
Yeah, the bowel whisperer, exactly. Like, if you're constipated, give Jim Chung a call. He will clear the bowels. Yeah, last time I forgot. When he was on the other night, I was gonna say that, but I forgot. Anyways, what were we talking about before we start talking about the weight of dumps? This is coming out
You
okay.
should,
Look at this.
you should talk about your drawing.
All
I
right.
just want to ask, like, if anyone here noticed, you see Bernard drawing on stream now, then you see the drawing the next morning on Instagram. Um, do they look very different, and which one do you like better?
Does it look different? Is it because this is kind of blurry here,
I
or
think when it's blurry, the gray areas or like the pencil lines blend together, and it's
yeah?
sort of softer, and something happens, and it's just kind of weird.
So you're saying it looks better on stream than when you see it the next day on Instagram?
Yeah, it looks different, and then
Sometimes
yeah, I
I add a
mean,
filter on Instagram though. I add the Juno filter, which like bumps up the contrast a little bit and makes the
oh
lines a
yeah.
little bit darker.
Oh, okay, so that might be it. Like, have you tried? There's a couple like
I
Perpetua
tried the
that.
Perpetua, but it doesn't work. I don't know if it works well with these pencil drawings.
Well, in the pencil drawings, well, maybe if you take a photograph, like I scan it, and then when I scan it in, it's black and white only. So the drawings are strictly black and white. So whenever I have gray tones scanned in,
You know?
if you use a Perpetua filter, the Perpetua actually adds color to your drawing.
Yeah, it has like I noticed like a slight tint.
Yeah, warm and
Yeah.
cools. Yeah.
Hmm. But are there people complaining?
Complaining about how your work looks.
About, yeah, how it's looking on Instagram. By the way, you thought that ghostwriter was not going to get any likes, but the
Yeah, but
comments,
imagine without the microphone, how many likes would have gotten? It would have been like maybe double.
I don't know, the comment section blew up. A lot of people,
Oh, yeah, well, that's one thing. It gets people talking.
yeah, because people were chiming in with the songs. Some of the songs I didn't even know.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, we're talking about possibly of doing the super deformed sculpt on stream.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another thing, like, where similar to that whole microphone issue, you can do a super deformed sculpt of Jerry, or you can do a Batman, and I don't know, like, it's the same amount of sculpting time, but what is your goal for that?
I think I would do one of Jerry because it's more personable. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
doing it for, I'm not doing it to like sell and make money. I'm doing it because it's fun, and like what are we doing here on stream? I mean, there's a monetary aspect to streaming, of course. Not going to deny that, um, but I also want it to be personable, right?
right. So in that case, Jerry would be great for this stream.
Yeah. So do a Jerry. I can do like a Beavis and Butthead, um, which yeah, Beavis and
Yeah, I
Butthead.
wonder how it works to stream sculpting. Like, I think there must be some sculpting stream.
I've seen some people. It's well, I've seen one or two people sculpt like do like not like the toy sculpting, but like a clay thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of boring. But it's also like they're not talking. You know, they're just
And they almost always sculpt like base bound, which just means like whatever they're sculpting is on an armature and it's on a table.
yeah.
So, but I think the way you do it, you actually can. I mean, I think real
Move it
artists
around.
can
Yeah.
pick it up and turn it around.
Well, I'm gonna need to. I still have like right around the time I did the Tommy Lee sculpt. I had uh, bought the what is it the two part. You buy one thing, you
Right,
buy the other, and then you when you mix it in, that's when it becomes the clay.
right. The epoxy
Yeah.
putty. Hmm.
Um, does that stuff
Yeah,
ever go
we
bad, or can I
no,
still
no.
use? Oh, so I can probably
As
still
long as they're
use it.
not mixed together, they might be
Yeah.
kind of the water might have left them, so it might be a little bit harder. But actually,
Ah,
um,
you said harder.
I think um, that when you did that Tommy Lee, we were on a bus.
Yeah,
You
we
did
were on a
that.
bus to Baltimore.
You did that on a bus ride, which is pretty impressive. It was like wasn't I think it was a 4 hour bus ride, and you had the sculpt like 90% done by the time we got there.
That was my first time sculpting.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty good. So yeah, I think it's kind of boring for other people because sculpting can be a slow process, but I think you sculpt pretty fast.
I don't even think I had a picture of
Yeah, I mean you were going entirely
off of memory, right?
based on memory. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Jerry. I kind of got Jerry's. You know, I did that the Jet Jaguar off of memory, and
Oh
and it,
wow.
and it looked kind of like him. So it's like if you can capture a particular, uh, like for Jerry, it's eyebrows and then it's the cheeks, right? It's like and it's a big smile. Uh, the nose, not really memorable. I think he has big ears. Jerry has like huge ears.
So if you sculpt one, a super deformed, with him, and then you send it to me, and then I'll cast it. I'll make a mold of it and cast it. We can make about like maybe like 40 of them.
Yeah.
So then, um, what do we do? I mean, we'll get them to the people in the stream, and then we gotta make a like they gotta do something with it. Like maybe anything you can do it. Like maybe it's gonna be unpainted, so maybe there's a paint contest, or you take a photo of it in a situation that'll make us
Yeah, that it's coming out of
say
something.
wow. Yeah, yeah, or that'll wow us.
So I was already.
Like yeah, take it to Hooters or take it to an exotic location.
Well, I don't think there are any Hooters open right now.
I mean,
Much less exotic locations, if that's.
or you can do a scavenger hunt. Like if you get someone to put it in their cleavage, or if you can get someone that's like someone that's
like a
in like a priest to hold it, or something, then you get points.
like a celebrity, yeah.
Yeah, a celebrity or something, or a cop.
So you're saying like on a Howard Stern show they were giving out these flat Ronnies a couple years ago. Ronnie was the limo driver,
Oh, okay.
and they made these life-size flat cutouts of him,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and then they
Yeah.
gave them out to specific viewers. Like they had a contest, and if you win the contest, you get a flat Ronnie. And then people would take, and then they also give the flat Ronnie to like celebrities, and then the celebrities would take the flat Ronnie and take pictures of it in different places. So it was kind of funny, and then mail it back to the show. We could do that,
Cool.
yeah.
All right. Well,
And the whole smoothing of the sculpt thing that I didn't get to do. You did that, right? You have to
yeah,
smooth it out.
I can clean it up. Yeah.
I mean, ideally, you can get your kids to do it. Those little fingers, they'll be really good at getting into the creases. I still remember, what was that from Schindler's List?
Yeah.
Where the kids clean out the bullets because the fingers are
Yeah.
small, so they could go inside the bullets. What do you think of this?
That's cool. I like those teeth, and then the hands. Her hand is pretty cool.
Does Venom have a tongue? Yeah, Venom has a tongue, but
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think I'm
doesn't
going to be able to put that in here. basically black this whole area out. When do you have to get your secret project done?
They gave me until the first week in November.
Oh, that's not much time.
Yeah. Well, it's only 8 pages.
Are you inking it yourself, Sean?
I think that's what they're thinking, but I'm not going to do that.
Why not? You should ink it yourself, man. Come on.
No, I got to get out from under this book, so I got to move on to other things.
Like what?
Renovate a bathroom.
Inking
Build
is
some
not going to take you much more time. It's going to be
I think
maybe
so.
like 25% more. If you tone back the pencils and
But you'd be surprised. Like as far as companies are concerned, the main thing that keeps you from doing that is that you're not in the system. So I'm not in the system as an inker. So it's just much easier to get someone that's in the system. Otherwise, they'd have to start me up, and that means like a meeting, like a rate review meeting, and that means certain people have to chime in and have to agree upon a rate. So if I want to ink my stuff and I was serious about it, I'd have to get that process underway. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. You're not in the system, you can't do it.
yeah, but they're expecting you to do it. So just tell them you want to ink it. Just tell them you want to ink it. I'm telling you,
Yeah, but I
there's
don't.
nothing like learning on the job, getting paid while you're learning how to do something. How many projects did we take on? Like, oh, you don't really know how to do it, but yeah, okay, I'll do it. And then you learn, and then you get paid for it. It's like the best thing. Killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah, well, I think this editor that hired me thinks I'm in the system as an inker, but then when she looks, she's gonna find out I'm not, and then that's the end of that discussion.
Well, just tell them you want to ink it. You're gonna get like a.
Yeah, but then the rate review committee meets once a month, so most likely it'll be after the deadline.
Well, but yeah, but you still ink it. What are they gonna? You're still getting paid for it.
Yeah, I mean, I know when Jim Chung, he was not in the system as an inker, and so he would pencil his stuff, but then he would just give it to Mark Morales with certain things inked, usually the faces and hands.
Yeah. Because then you get the pages back. You don't have to split it with the inker. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
What is the split with the
I think
inker? I've never like.
it's a what is it? I forgot what it's 70-30 or something like that.
Oh, Yojimbo didn't know about the rate meeting. Oh. Well, that's at Marvel.
Yeah, I think you have a rate at DC, so they just transfer over your inking rate.
To Marvel?
Yeah, or did you already have an inking rate at Marvel?
No, I had to negotiate everything.
Okay, so yeah, if there's time to do that, then yeah.
There's always time, Sean. I mean,
Yeah, I think I'm not that into. It takes me so long to draw the page. I just hate to actually work on it for a few more hours to ink it. So,
I'm telling you, scale back your pencils because they're very tight. If you guys have ever seen Sean's pencils, they're pretty much inked already. And then spend. So overall time, I feel like, look, my pencils are not. They're nowhere as tight as this when I'm penciling and inking a book. Much looser. So this part is actually the inking part. And
yeah, I can't believe Jim Chung is inking his own stuff now.
yeah,
So
you get. If you can ink it, you can control. You basically you control more of the final product. There's no hypotheticals that might come into play when you're dealing, especially on a short project where you don't know who they're going to get to ink your stuff. You get to control more of the final work. and then you also get paid more, and you get to keep all the artwork.
Yeah, for sure. Long term, I would have to do that. But
I mean, look,
I wasn't really planning on doing anything after Batman Beyond, but then this was a Marvel thing, and it was a pretty decent project. So, and it was only 8 pages, so I figured I'd do it. But I'm not supposed to be doing this now. I'm supposed to be getting stuff done in the house before snow falls.
oh, is the wifey getting on you for that?
Well, another thing is that the kids aren't. They're not going. They're supposed to be in school, but they're not going. The schools won't stay open.
Yeah.
So, we have like a 7-year-old, and you put her in front of the Zoom screen. They don't pay attention, so you pretty much have to be there the whole time, and then help them with their homework. So that's a good maybe 5 hours a day that's gone. And then I do this thing. I just found out there's a term for this. I think it's Japanese. It translates to revenge insomnia, which is
Oh,
you stay up late because you resent the fact that you have other things keeping you from doing stuff during the day. So you stay up late after everyone's going to sleep and you do what you want to do. As a result, you go to sleep at 4 in the morning and then you're a wreck.
yeah. I can't stay up too late. I can't do all-nighters anymore without it messing up the rest of the week. And all right. Well, if you have to go, then you're gonna go to sleep or you're gonna go back to work.
No, I'm okay. I mean,
You inked that book, by the way. I mean, you create your own book. You inked that. So what's the difference there?
um, well, a lot of it is just there's no pressure doing your own thing because that thing was never supposed to be published.
Yeah.
So, but I think if I did this for a career like comics, I would have to ink because it's just leaving too much money on the table not doing it.
I'm telling you, that's the future. Either you're inking it or maybe it's a digital. Maybe you're drawing it digitally.
And there's another thing that's really tough with inkers. Having inkers is kind of bad all around, but usually when I come onto a project, like the editor, like Rob Levin said, like, "Oh, this inker wants to work with you." You're like, "Oh, all right, well," and then it doesn't really matter what you think about that inker, because it's not working out. Then you have to say like, "Hey, this isn't working out," and then once they're on a book, inkers will latch onto you. And they'll start sending you candy and start saying, and then it's very hard to say like I want to try someone new. There's so many inkers out there out of work, and there's some that you like, but you're kind of like stuck with one because you'd have to like break the bad news to them that that it's not working out. You want to try someone else,
Yeah.
and if that doesn't work, and the inkers really like they have to latch on to a penciler to make a living. So, and thing is, I like my inker now, but there's also 3 other people who send me messages like, "Hey, we worked together in the past. How come you didn't think of me for this?" And I was like, "Well, I'll get you next time." But then, yeah, it's just hard. Like it opens a whole can of worms. And if you're a guy that doesn't like to, if you're kind of passive aggressive or you don't like to deal with confrontation or something like that, then you just like, yeah, whoever's inking it, just let it go,
I had that with a colorist. Not
Yeah.
not Marcello. Before I moved on to Marcello, I had another guy that I was working with.
Yeah, you have the opposite, but Marcello is like one you want to keep.
Oh, yeah.
I had thought that maybe at some point, like Marcello's like, "Hey, I got other things, other art that I gotta
No,
do."
Marcello's like a brother to me. Every project, this X-Men Children of the Atom, every project that I work on, stipulation that Marcello has to work on it.
That's great. Yeah, that's
So-
another thing. Colors also need to latch on to a penciler.
But I mean, Marcello's busy as hell. He has so many people that wants that wants to work with him.
So I'm wondering if he ever is he ever tempted to turn you down?
Maybe.
Let's hope not.
Maybe he just doesn't. Yeah, but
Yeah, that's the big thing like these days. Like, I think Suli is saying that the younger artists are doing the whole thing
yeah,
themselves, and I'm not sure what. Well, I guess that goes with being that whole. If you're like a millennial, chances are you're a little bit narcissistic and you think you can do everything. And I think that attitude goes a long way into just giving a lot of confidence. But when we were coming up, it was always like assembly line process, and it makes sense. Like you got to crank out 20 pages in a month. You just you do it like a factory.
Yeah,
Um,
but it's also adapting to the times. I think younger artists are more digital.
yeah, they're
Um,
digital native. That makes a big difference.
uh, I think also like when I go to schools and I lecture at schools, I tell people you got to learn how to ink. You got to learn how to. Basically, you're turning in line art, right? This whole term of penciling and inking, it's line art. You're doing the storytelling, um, especially if you're digital, right? There is no ink because
Right.
it's just the concept of a pencil tool versus an ink tool digitally. It's it's the same thing. So um, how the system is geared up right now is that they're paying two different people. But now, if you do it, if you control it, basically it's controlling the product. You're making more money, um, and I mean royalties too. You're making royalties. So if this is something that's going to sell, uh,
Yeah, it's the way it has to
all
be.
right,
But there are so many like great colorists and great inkers out there that it'd be great for a lot of people to participate in this business. And then every time a penciler decides to ink his own work, it's another inker that's left out in the cold.
it is,
Um,
it
it's
is.
sad because I mean, like a lot of times they didn't train it. Like I know a lot of inkers who they're not trying to pressure me or anything, but they do tell me stories about how they're in a panic all the time, and how they can't really survive at conventions because they're an inker, um, and then more and more pencilers are trying to ink their own stuff, so it's getting harder for them, and it's kind of elitist to say that for comics only it's like in the movie business. Like if you want to make a movie, then tough luck because you don't have connections, you have equipment, you don't have the training, so you can always like talk about what movie you're gonna make, but it's never really gonna happen. In comics, the great thing is that you can kind of do it on your you can do it, and then someone who is maybe not don't have doesn't have the penciling chops can get in as an inker or a colorist. Um, so there's room for a lot of people who are on the less talented thing, and there was room for them, but now they're being squeezed out. So like you don't get a seat at the table at all. But we're not really responsible for their career choices. But I think pretty soon there's not going to be any inkers at some point.
D.
And
Rogers just had
and
to head out, so hold on. Say goodbye to D.
okay.
Rogers.
Oh yeah.
So you're saying
Good night, D. Rogers.
pretty soon there's not going to be any.
Yeah, and if we were in Europe, we'd actually handle the writing on our own too.
Yeah, I
So,
think. I mean, eventually that's an evolution of the process, right? I mean, when we started, is different than when our mentors started. Although there's some similarities, but there are also some major differences. Um, it's just an evolution of the times. You have to be able. You have to evolve. Uh, you have to figure out how the system is working, and then adapt to it. If you don't adapt, um, there are chances that you're going to be squeezed out at some point, right? So, um, the same thing about the colorists. You talk about colorists, the same thing as inkers. Uh, Before it used to be all Dr. Martin's color dyes, right? It used to be all like watercolored, and then they would have to be separated. Um, but then it became all digital. So then colorists had to learn Photoshop. They had to learn whatever programs um, it was to color the books. Otherwise, they're out of the business. So um, it's all part of an evolving world and an evolving industry. I mean, even like inked stuff, like the digital stuff, like Jorge Jimenez, right? Um, you know Jorge's stuff, right, Sean?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
It's great. He's pure digital, right? He draws it himself, and he inks it himself, and it's pure digital. And there's a particular style to that can't be mimicked traditionally. There's a particular aspect to his work um, that I would say is a result of him working digitally, and it'd be very difficult to replicate it. Next to impossible to do it traditionally. You could, but not in the same style. There's a
But
thing where we talked about last time about the X factor, right? What was that? What was that you called?
I don't know. Well, I don't remember this conversation. Um, well, his work also. I think people who work digitally also are trying to imitate traditional inking and stuff because I think that stuff still looks aesthetically the best. I think if you can tell it's digital, it doesn't seem to work that well. Like I don't know if Pepe Larraz is digital, but it looks like he's using dipping, brush into an ink pot.
Yeah. Who's the other guy? That's Jorge Fernandez. Somebody's using Zipatone on traditional stuff still.
Right? Yeah, that's where there's like Zipatone is coming back in again,
Yeah.
but Zipatone is it is the way it is because it helps the printing process. You can create grays, and the printing process can understand it. So using Zipatone on a drawing it and give to someone is kind of strange because there's no printing involved at all.
Well, I'm thinking he's thinking probably more for the original art aspect, right? So that, but ideally you could do Zipatone on the computer once you scan it in.
Yeah, I mean that can all be done digitally.
Yeah.
So Zipatone is expensive, and people kind of they hoard it and stuff and use it very sparingly. It just seems like it's free on Photoshop. So
So right now I think I'm pretty much done. Um,
yeah, it's great.
Thanks, Sean.
It's so volumetric, even though it's a caricature. I mean, it's cartoony, but then it still has a very 3D aspect, like it's real. Look at that, Suli. What's going on for tomorrow's stream?
Oh yeah, tomorrow's Friday. Man, I thought today was Wednesday. That's how far out of it I am. This is the Stanley Lau, where
Oh yeah,
everything's
this is Dana. It's just cropped wherever it's cropped.
yeah. Not even gonna draw the hand.
Cool.
All right, we are 2 hours 43 minutes in.
Oh, Suli's dressing. Are you yourself dressing up on the stream? So you're gonna. That's funny. The Halloween stream. Oh, it sounds like it's gonna be a party on her stream tomorrow.
Really? Are we invited?
Giveaways, dressing up. That's cool. We should all check that out.
I think I'm gonna go vote in the morning tomorrow. You voted already?
Yeah, by mail.
You voted by mail?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna go. I wanna go in and vote. All right. You want to tell us who you voted for, Sean?
Nope.
No, you don't want to tell us who you voted for?
Politics are always very. I mean, if we were all rich and made tons of money off of comics, then I would talk shit about anything. But you know, I have friends from the opposite side. That I don't want to let that get in the way of comics bring us together. So,
Okay.
and you just say which candidate you're with, and then all of a sudden there's a divide, and it's not a topic I even want to get into a lot. But I mean, you can pretty much guess. Pretty obvious. Very cool.
Right. I will say, when I became an American citizen way back when, I initially registered as a Republican.
Oh, when you were at Valiant, you were a staunch Republican.
Yeah.
That's kind of strange. But then you moved out west, and then
Well, I think when I was in New York. Well, yeah, when I moved out west, I'm registered as an independent now. But initially, I mean, initially it was because I didn't want to get all this like mail, this
okay.
junk mail, because once you register as a specific political party, they start sending you like all these letters in the mail to donate. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to get any more. I'm not gonna donate money. I mean, but then, yeah. So now I'm an independent. I vote cross-party. I don't understand. Some of these states, they have a single ticket vote. Have you heard about that?
No.
There's some states where basically you just check off Democrat or Republican or Green Party, and then all along the line from president to senators or whatever, it just boom, all Democrats or boom, all Republicans. So you're not even checking off. You're not checking off any individual people. You're just checking a party. Like that to me is like, wow. Should I put like saliva in this venom?
He always has that slime dripping around.
Yeah. I was trying to get the slime on her breasts.
I see you're drawing the under eye bags again, which is
yeah. A lot of like Asian models have that.
Yeah, I know. Like I know there's a procedure you can do in Korea. Put those in. I think they take fat from your rear end and put it underneath your eyes.
Yeah. I have bags, but they're not the desirable kind. This too it should be like right underneath where the eyeball is, basically. But if I were to do that, my eye would dry out. I think today was. What did you think of the game? Did you watch the game?
Oh, that game from the yeah. I mean, I didn't realize. I thought it was like a shoot 'em up game, but it's just basically like I don't know.
Yeah, this was
It's
like a Cards Against Humanity, like a question game.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, like, you can actually add in, like, write up your own questions at some point. You got to figure it out. I mean, that was the first time playing it online. So aside from Michael DeNicolo's stream.
You know, you said before that I think there was that one drawing that wasn't going well. The one that went really bad. Which one was that? That never finished.
I don't know. There's like two of them.
And then you said that it was, and I heard you say that it was because you jumped into the drawing too quickly.
Yeah.
Without settling your brain and getting into the right mood by goofing off for about an hour.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's to me.
No,
I think
because
that's a very dangerous thing to think because, yeah, I mean, I think in the beginning no one has to do that, but if you goof off enough, eventually, you are going to have to. to do that, and then that time gets longer and longer as you get older and older and stuff.
Yes, that's that
It's
the
a slippery
the
slope.
period of procrastination becomes longer and longer. Yes.
So remember Josh Adams?
Yeah.
He told me a story about his father who used to work in a like a drawing pool where they have to crank out a huge amount of drawing
Mm-hmm.
for advertising reasons, and then a whole staff of artists. One of those guys was a guy. He's a foreign guy from like India or something like that,
Yeah.
and he would come in right on time and sit down and get right to work. The other guys are all Americans. They goof off and they talk a lot,
Yeah.
and they procrastinate, they waste time, and they get distracted. He would just sit there and draw. And then when it came time for his the lunch break or the his tea interval, he would stop drawing and he would go into the break room and make his tea, and he would sit there. And because he was like the only one doing the tea interval, he would stare at his tea and just focus on it intently, and then drink it. And then right when half an hour is up, goes right back to work.
Mm.
And he was the most productive guy there, and he did that for years. Every single day is exactly the same. And they were all kind of like baffled at how he was able to be so productive and never felt like he had to, that blow off steam and take breaks,
Yeah.
like take a lot of breaks. And I think it's because he never let that routine slip in and just was a very rigorous type of person. So I think as an experiment, because every one of us now, when we draw, we have the typical bad habit routines we get into. It's very interesting to just one morning, I said, like, when I wake up, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do, and then I'm going to sit down and start drawing. When I think I am, when I plan to, it feels really weird that you don't surf the internet for half an hour and then check your mail and all that stuff. It's almost impossible to get right to work. Like, as you're drawing, it's like your whole body is screaming to stop. And you're not born like that. You develop that bad habit. So
Yeah. Well, some of it is like pressure. If there's pressure to finish something, I'm like, I love it. But if there's no pressure, then I procrastinate. The thing with
yeah.
the sketching and the procrastinating.
Well, you procrastinate until there is pressure. I mean, I know
Yeah.
you did that trick valiant a lot. Is that you were given enough time to draw, and then you would like goof off a lot,
Yeah.
and then you would crank out like sometimes 10 pages overnight.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't advise that, but
10 pages in one night. And this is after you were getting trouble like Bob Layton and I don't know, Jen Maldonado. They would like read you the riot act. It's like you're really screwing this up. You're in big trouble. There's no way. And then overnight you crank out 10 pages. Then you bring it in and everything's fine again.
yeah.
And then I think you get a little bit of a high from that.
No, it definitely is a high. It's a definite high. It's a it's like an accomplishment thing. It's like winning a game. It's like winning a game on a last second shot.
Yeah, it's like a little bit like gambling, but
Yeah.
that can get really addictive.
It's-
And then I think
yeah.
it became hard for you to draw without that pressure.
It is. So, but some of it is also because I think the other thing is just my head is thinking about a lot of things. I just need this. I need to block all that stuff out. Right? I feel like my head is like I'm thinking about all these different things that are going on in the world, going on in my life, going on not even in my life, out of my control, whatever it is, or going on in stream. And then if I procrastinate enough, or if I search the web, it like dulls my brain to a point
Okay.
where then, okay, now I can like draw. I don't have to think about any of those things.
Right.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
There's the Todd McFarlane who said a page every day and take the weekends off.
Yeah.
So, and he said that he never heard of an artist that needs more than a day to draw a page, but he knows plenty of artists who can't keep their ass in the chair.
All right. I don't know really. I don't know what I'm doing here with these things, but I'm trying to create maybe some wrinkles or some kind of like texture with the Venom mask?
It's tough with I think Elvira, one of her the way she looks, like her hair is very characteristic, and then you can't draw the hair the way it looks because it's Venom. But she does that thing where she the crown or the part of her hair is like on her forehead.
Yeah.
So, and that's like very unusual. And when you see that, like you think that immediately that's Elvira.
So you're saying I have to write Elvira here somewhere?
No, I mean, well, if you look at reference, maybe you can shape the highlights to be like that weird part that's right above her forehead. Most people have the crown in the back, and she has it in the front.
What if I just like shaded?
Wow, you're shading teeth now.
I was hoping like some of the shadow, or even the teeth themselves, would mimic that crown hair thing coming down.
Yeah, I think that works. But yeah, you see like the part of her hair is like right up front. It's kind of weird.
I haven't been reading any of the text. I mean, when I was working at Disney, and that was like a 9 to 5 job. When I was working at Imagineering, I'd go to the office, 10 o'clock, 9. Well, I had to get there at 9, and stay there till like 6, 7 o'clock. Go home, and then I would be bored out of my brain because it's like nothing. Because you leave work, right? Leave work. There's no other work. And at first, it felt like, oh, that's part of the reason I'm moving out. It's as a freelancer, the thought of work is all constantly in your head. And I was like, I want to try not having to think about work all the time, 24/7. And at first it was fun, but then after a while, I was like, man, what am I going to do? Watch Sports Center? Eat? I have to find like activities. I don't know. I don't know if I could go back to an office job.
Wow, at your age, you back to an office job?
I might have to at some point.
You can actually, I don't know. Do they? Does anyone hire someone in their 50s?
No,
Does anyone hire people?
For this animation gig, yeah. I mean, this animation gig, if it keeps going, it might, and people start going back into the office. It might. Who knows?
Wow.
And you have to get dressed up.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And then there's always a commute. Now surprisingly, when I was working in an office before, the commute tires you out more than you think. I mean, you're just basically sitting on a bus or something or on the subway.
Yeah. That's why I'm such an advocate of like getting a convertible or something here in LA. Yeah, at least you enjoy the commute while you're stuck in traffic.
Yeah, you get to drive. Getting to drive, I think, is a lot better. But I remember when I had an office job, I would it'd be quitting time and everyone leave. And I would just sit there for a long time, like sometimes like a couple hours later, and it'd be like 7:30 at night. It's because I just can't bring myself to commute home. So, it's just so so I just sit there, and it's easy just to chill out and procrastinate.
When I was at Imagineering, I had a setup underneath my desk. I take a nap.
You did it at conventions. That's the funniest thing at a convention. I remember you would just just shirk off all your commissions and you go underneath the table on top of all the sketchbooks, sleep.
Yeah.
And then one time, we're just talking to people, fans that come around, and there's like this woman and her daughter, whatever, and then you just came up from under the table. You look really tired, and you had like bedhead and everything. And this woman had this look on her face like, what the F is going on?
Yeah, I would sleep underneath the table at San Diego. At other shows too, like George Costanza in Seinfeld.
Yeah.
All you need is like a 20-minute power nap. It's actually very quiet underneath the table. It's like a hum, You know, because everybody's above you talking, but then below you is just foot traffic. So it's not that bad. And you know, it's actually, you know, it's quite comfortable. It's kind of dark because of shade. Um, but at Disney, it had like a styrofoam, you know, like a packing styrofoam. Not the little peanuts, but there's like these parts for like large TVs and stuff, like these large styrofoam pieces, and I cut them up and make like a pillow, just enough to like rest my head on the side. So all right, I think we're done here.
Cool.
All right, can you guys see this horizontally? Okay, 3 hours. Should I color this? Should I color the
Color.
lips red?
Can you color it red over the graphite?
Yeah, yeah. It'll show. Is her lips? Her lips are red. Should I color it or
Yeah.
should I leave it? What do you think? The red lips would help it read a little bit better, right? And
Yeah,
maybe
she
like the
tends to put red
green
all over
eyes.
hers.
Green eyes. Should I like blue eyes or green eyes?
She she puts red lips and then she puts purple around her eyes and then blue eyes.
Blue eyes. Okay.
And a lot of blush on this woman.
I don't know if I want to do the whole blush thing. I think just the lips and the eyeball should be enough, right? What do you think, Sean? You're the art director here.
Yeah, I think just the lips.
She does have the blush on but I'm afraid like I don't want to start defining her cheeks and then not like it.
She got a lot of makeup on.
I mean, I kind of have some definition here with the pencils, but it's very light, so it's suggested. Um, so lips and eyes. So red and blue. All right. Okay. Thank you, Too Woke. So Sean, we're gonna give away your Yoda. You want to give away your Yoda today, or you want to wait and promote it and then?
Well, whatever. I mean, I can give away a colored one later. I just thought because the Mandalorian starts tomorrow, it's just kind of topical.
Yeah, but you usually sell those, don't you?
Well, the white ones don't cost. I mean, the white ones are just nothing.
Well, there's
Painting is a
time
pain in
and
the ass.
labor.
No, but like all that time, it takes forever to sculpt it,
Yeah.
and then you make the mold with the silicone mold. It's a pain in the ass. But then once that's made, it's just pouring it in, popping it out, and you can make those till the cows come home.
But
It's very
how
easy.
many per mold can you make? Doesn't
Well,
that?
this new mold you can make like 50, and then
Oh, really?
also I have a yeah. So and then I also have the mold archive, which you can just quickly pour another one. So you can kind of go indefinitely with it.
I thought at some point the mold like loses its integrity.
Yeah, that was for well, that's because it's if there's a lot of undercuts, so that's a clamshell two-part mold.
Yeah.
But the Baby Yoda thing is a one-part mold. It's just like a cavity. You pour it in there, and the back is flat, so it doesn't build up that much heat.
And then you got a. Oh, so the original sculpt, you basically just make another mold from the original sculpt.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, you can just mass produce those like crazy.
How many have you made?
I think like maybe like 40 of them.
Wow. Okay.
Mostly give them away to kids.
Yeah. All right. Should I
Have you
color?
shown it on your? Did you show it? I wasn't on the stream. Or,
I put the link on there. It's
okay,
on the
because it's in
Discord.
Discord.
Yeah, it's
So
on the
yeah.
Discord. Yeah, let me copy link. That's the link to it. Should I color the background like a blue?
Now you're doing that thing again with
I think it might
the
help with
color
pop.
creep.
It might help with pop. Like there was another drawing that I did recently that I thought if I had colored the background, it would really make it pop. Well, there's no going back now.
Yeah, that'll make. I mean, part of her look is her skin is very white.
Yeah.
So the problem is there's so much white competing because of the background. So if you just darken it, then her face becomes whiter. Her skin becomes more like porcelain.
Right. Plus the highlights from everything too. So I think this will help.
As long as you can find a reason to justify.
Sean, we gotta get you a mic. You have a mic? You have a? Well, we gotta get you a webcam. I mean, you can use your cam from your iMac, but I'm gonna have to trim this piece later in order for it to fit.
Why is that?
In order for it to fit.
Oh, that's a larger piece of paper.
This is a 6x9 still, but I think this is a little bit wider than 6. So
Hey, Aurora's here.
Aurora, hello.
In time to win.
In time, Aurora has never won a sketch yet. Aurora might have an opportunity to win the sketch tonight. It'll be Aurora versus Sue Lee. Does Aurora recognize who this character is? Probably not.
She's too young.
We need to get back. This purple's not coming out too well.
You can say this is like Dolly Parton on Halloween.
This is Elvira. Is she still on TV? Is she still alive?
Yeah, she's still alive. She's with all that makeup. She still plays Elvira, but
Yeah.
she's very like an older person. But still, there's so much pancake makeup.
We played Jackbox earlier. Oh, so going back to the Jackbox, there's another game that's draw, like you get to draw. So I think that should be fun.
So it's like, what's that game?
It's
That
like
board game?
Pictionary.
Pictionary, yeah.
But it's not. It's not. Yeah, it's kind of like Pictionary, but it's also like this game where then people vote on it. So, like, let's say we would draw something, and then that drawing would come up later, and then we would vote on who had the better. Not better drawing, but I mean, because all the drawings are going to be very quick because you only have like 2 minutes to draw. Again,
Yeah.
I haven't played it. I just watched the YouTube video of people playing it. Um, but I think that would be great, especially some of you guys get to flex a little bit. And for 2 minutes, I mean, you can't really draw stuff, so it's not like you're looking at like really great drawings. It's more about the idea or the concept.
I know whenever play Pictionary, people always think like, "Oh, you're an artist, you're gonna win." A lot of times it doesn't help because
Yeah.
the clue is like it's like star or smiley face. Like like drawing skill doesn't only gets in the way.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, so you just have to get the idea out. So, all right. Here we go. I mean, I guess. A little eyeshadow. I
Very
think that's
cool.
what Elvira is known for.
Yeah, this is very very Stanley Lau art charmish.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Okay. At some point, I think like maybe the Yoda we should give to subscribers only. Right? What do you think? Because that's such a high-end prize. Is there a way to give only subscribers only?
Jim Lee does.
I know. I think he's using like Nightbot, which is another mod system, right? I think. I don't know if I'm incorrect on that. Crispy's not here, nor is Poop Kid here tonight. I mean, they would know. Or your Jimbo. Yeah, so Pandemos, he says, Yeah, so he locks the channel to sub only for emotes, or sub only. Yeah, but I think you have to use night. You can use Nightbot, and then it'll like automatically select subs only. But this sketch we're gonna give away tonight. Kevin P. West, you want your points back? What happened? Kevin P. West had points.
So are you giving away the Yoda or
Oh,
off on that?
Kevin P. West says talk like Schnarf.
Well, he has
Schnarf.
to. Okay.
Sean, did you see that? Oh, Aurora raided us with a party of 9. Thank you, Aurora. You didn't tell me it was a raid.
Oh, I didn't know it was a raid. I wasn't paying attention.
Welcome. How are you doing? I thought it was fun, but Matthew Crosshart bogarted the whole situation. He actually bogarted tonight's stream. He dictated exactly how everything was going to go. But, it'll be fun. Is Matthew still here? We've been ribbing him all night. So, sorry about that, Kevin P. West. I have to talk like Schnarf. Yeah, I think he did that because he saw Aurora come on. Schnarf. Sean, did you see that if you select a Schnarf, there's a Schnarf icon? There's a new Schnarf emote icon. Yeah. If you click on the bottom of the screen, Schnarf, there's a Schnarf icon and a Tweaky icon. Maybe I should just make those emotes for now. Schnarf. Schnarf. That's it. Schnarf and Tweaky are level 2 emotes.
Okay.
Schnarf. The Tweaky one came out really good, I thought. I mean, I traced the picture. I didn't draw it. I just traced it. I mean, who has the time to actually draw it? But I did have to clean it up and redraw some parts. Schnarf. Beat up. There should be 3... Oh, sub badges. Yes, I saw that today. I didn't know you could do that. Schnarf. Now I have to think about badges. Sean, what do you think the badges should look like? Sub badges.
I don't know.
Some kind of icon. Maybe like Sean saying 1 month, 2 month, 3 months. Oh, I got an idea. Okay, great. This is perfect. Okay, I got a good idea. Cause I did a Schnarf. I did a Sean emote, but then I didn't like how it turned out. Because it was just kind of generic. So, talking to B-Dub, now I just got a good idea. See, that's why we come on here. You guys are extremely helpful. So, Sean, did you want to give away the Yoda today?
If you want, yeah. I mean,
what do you guys say? Do you guys want the Yoda?
it's a unpainted Yoda, so you
It's
can
an
paint it
unpainted
as
one.
white.
Yeah. Then you got to ship it.
Yeah, so I'm going to the post office.
All right, let's give away the Yoda, unpainted.
And this drawing, right? You gotta give this one away.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this drawing away. But I was thinking like we should give your thing away on Tuesday, to like, and then promote it online, saying like, hey, you can win this.
Well, maybe for a painted one. I don't know.
How big is it?
It's not that big. It's like 4 inches tall.
Okay. Let me measure. 4 inches. Okay. Like that. I think we should do. Is there a way for me to set up? There it is. Is there a way for me to set up a second wheel or a second kind of giveaway wheel for subs only?
Wow, you gonna set that up tonight? Or just keep spinning until you hit a sub.
Okay, I'll just do that. I'll keep spinning until I hit a sub. Right? Okay. I'm going to give this away first. This is the ELVIRA VENOM mashup for Halloween. When's Halloween? Saturday?
Yeah, it's crazy. You won't get it by Halloween.
No, you might not even get it by Thanksgiving, but we'll see. Okay, so Anybody that's on stream tonight can win this sketch. I want to thank you for your support. Let's see. Let's pull up. Aurora, are you still here? Aurora can win. Spin wheel. Thank you for the raid, by the way. You just have
Aurora's
to.
going to bed.
Aurora's going to bed. You don't want to try to win this. Did you see the Yoda that Sean did? You can win. Click on that Discord app link that Yojimbo just put up.
Your chances are 1 in 40. That's
Well, actually, if the Yoda is sub only, it's like maybe even better. Well, actually, she's not a sub.
Okay. Well, wow.
You have a Prime account? Let me give this away real quick. Spin wheel. Well, hold on for the sketch. Maybe you win the sketch. Let's see. Okay. If you're new here tonight, type something in the chat so I can give you a slice on this wheel. Right? Each time you come on consecutively to this stream, your slice grows by 1. If you subscribe, your slice gets a bonus addition. Plus, let's say you miss a stream. If you miss a stream, it goes back down to 1 if you're not a subscriber. But if you are a subscriber, it maintains that size until you come back, and then it goes back up again. So, I think that's fair, right? And then we have one guy that's almost at 20. Who's at almost at 20? D. Rogers tonight will be at 20. Unless did D. Rogers leave? I think he left. But his slice is still going to bump up to 20. Right, so anybody new wants to get a slice, please type something right now. Especially the people that just followed, such as 2 pound dump. 2 pound dump if you want a slice, type something down there. Scalpy, if you want a slice, type something down there. Clown Sickness 29, KWJ 98, Juicy Jeebus, if you want to slice, type something in there. Otherwise, going once if you want a new slice, going twice if you want a new slice. Want to lock it down. Anybody else? Okay. All right. Speak now or forever. Every time, like when I go into the next section, someone types some stuff up, and I'm like, come on. Okay, Yojimbo, 17 to 18. Actually, let's see who's not here. Well, pretty much everybody. I'll just leave it up there. They're not going to win. Way's here. There you go, 17 to 18. Crispy Egg Roll just won the last stream. Steve. I don't remember seeing Steve tonight. Steve is probably still out celebrating the Lakers and Dodgers win championship. Barry's not here tonight. Golf Boy, 15-16. C. Jing is at 1. Long's at 1. Somebody's gonna start adding slices today. Let me look at this. Plus, we have the. I think I'll save the Fathom toy giveaway to next time. What's today's date, Sean?
Isn't it 29th?
29th. So Kevin P. West can start accruing slices. And Cool Hand Luke. Okay. Alright. So Golf Boy 16-17. C. Jing, Long Wu, A to the J. Was A to the J here earlier? Matthew Crossart, 7 to 8. Poop Kid was not here. B Dub, 6 to 7. Was A to the J here earlier? Or is he still here? I thought I saw him. You remember seeing A to the J?
I don't remember.
No.
I didn't see him.
Anybody want to vouch for A to the J? B-Dub 6-7. Wildstorm 16-17. Shoe Thief. Was Shoe Thief here today? I don't remember seeing Shoe Thief. How's James Quo 16-17. Kevin P stays at 1. 2 Woke 7-8. Domo stays at 10. Patrick West 13-14. D Rogers 20. And he's not going to win tonight because he left, but his slice is up to 20. That guarantees him next time an additional slice. Jerry's not here. Su Lee 1. Q Han Luke 2-3. Isaac's at 1. Let's Do This stays at 2. I don't remember seeing Let's Do This tonight. Pandemos 6-7. Frogman here tonight? Nope. J13 Kim. I don't remember seeing J13 Kim. Roy. I think Roy was here. 12-13. J Dang. J Dang was here today. Ooh, Pandemos. There you go. 14-15. Uh-oh. Someone's calling me. Bane Wrecker. It's not here. Oh, J13 Kim. There you go. Actually, you just won recently, J13 Kim, so you still gotta stay at 1. Sorry. Did you get your piece, by the way? I think I mailed most of them out. Jim Chung's not here. Alkali Lake's not here. DY Pickle. I thought I saw DY Pickle. Serpentine is not here. Jamie Odell. 9-10. El Cabon. Did we see El Cabon tonight? Funny. El Cabon's not here. El Cabon, so, well, all the new people, you need to put your name on the... You need to tell me your name, because El Cabon didn't tell me his real name. So I wrote El Cabon and then his address. Oh, there you go, El Cabon. 9-10. Lurky Lurk, 4-5. Racer GRX stays at 1 because Racer GRX won last week. Carson McKinney, 7-8. Carson, I hope you're in class. I hope you're doing work. RN Ingrid, 3-4. Gozador is not here. Well, I haven't seen Gozador post. That's another girl, Gozador. Beef Skellington stays at 4. It's not here. Va'air, 2-3. Ace P. Vergil. Did we see P. Vergil? And Aurora, 2. Okay. I think we're good. Let me give you an option. Quick poll. I love polls. Quick poll. One minute for this poll. Starting now. You make sure you read it. Oh, there you go, P for Ale. Okay. All right, P for Ale, you go from 1 to 2. Congrats. Save. There's no practice spin. Yes, no practice spin. No, no practice spin. So if you vote yes, no practice spin, that means there's no practice spin. If you vote no, no practice spin, that means there is a practice spin. We twist it around a little bit. No, no practice spin. I'm trying to trick you guys. You can't just randomly check your brain out and vote yes or vote no. So far, yes, no practice spin is winning. 53-47. Now it's 50-50. Now it's 50-50. This might be a recap of next. This might be a fortuitous. Oh, that's it. It's over. No practice spin. So there's going to be a practice spin. Next Tuesday might be like this, Sean. Back and forth. Okay, there's a practice spin. So it says no practice spin. That means there is a practice spin. Spin wheel. This is a practice spin. Would have been orange. Orange and blue. Who's orange and blue? Would have been lurky lurk. It would have been lurky lurk. Okay, lurky lurk. Now, this is it. This is the spin. I want to thank everybody for R.I.P. Lurky. That's right, too woke. I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. Thank you again for all your support. I really appreciate
You're
it.
not doing the Yoda thing tonight, then?
We are. But
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying all this thank you stuff now. I'm just used to saying it right before I do the final spin. You want me to stop thanking everybody?
Well, I mean, we still got more to go.
Okay. Well, there's still a Yoda, yeah. Okay, all right. I'm going to stop saying all the thank you based on Sean's direction. Spin wheel, good luck. Spin wheel, good luck. Way. Oh, Way doesn't want this. Congrats, Way. Way only wants a DC character.
Wow.
Way, do you want this? Do you want this piece?
You're trying to get him to give it up?
No, he only loves DC characters. So, do you want this piece, or I can give you an option of I don't know. I'll draw like, what's a DC character that you like?
Well, I thought this is like one of those you get what you get, but
You
you
get
don't
what
get
you
upset.
get, right? You get what you get.
Okay.
You get what you get. Sorry, Way. This is yours. You get what you get. It's Venom and Elvira.
But you can trade it. I mean, you outside of this stream.
Yeah. Well, you trade on your own. So if somebody wants it, you gotta DM Way. Plus, Way's here in California, so. All right, Way. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Way.
Congratulations, Way.
Feel like you can turn it into cash.
Yeah, it's got color on it. Just went up by like $100. Okay, let me pull up this. Let me pull up this Baby Yoda picture. Let me pull up this Baby Yoda picture. Let me find it.
Yeah, I think I sent you a colored one and then one the original sculpt. So this is neither of them. This is the cast of the original sculpt. So it looks like, either of them, but just in bright white.
Oh, okay. Where is this? Here we go. Okay. All right. This is the Baby Yoda. Look at how cute that Baby Yoda is. Why is the Baby Yoda sad?
Because he's baby.
Look at this Baby Yoda.
Yeah, so it's unpainted, so you can paint it yourself.
Yeah, so it's all white.
All white.
It's all white. What is the picture of the Tommy?
Oh yeah, the Tommy. It's in there too. It's interesting to see how many people here want a super deformed sculpt of Tommy Lee Edwards.
Yeah, no, I'm just showing using it as an example to. Oh, what happened here? I was just using it as an example to show the unpainted.
Well, it's just white, bright white.
Yeah. Does that link work? It's shooting me to this Discord page. Now I gotta sign in with a QR code? The fuck?
You don't need to show it.
Okay, alright.
Just spin that fucker.
Yeah, so it's not colored. It's just all white. I don't want anybody complaining like, hey, I saw it online and it was like colored and it's incomplete, Sean. I'll pay you like another $50 to color it. $100 to color it. Oh, okay. Thank you, Yojimbo. Yojimbo is getting late. All right. Before I spin this, there you go. Thank you. So it's like all white. That's gonna what it's gonna look like.
You know what's weird? I would sell the white one
Yeah.
for like $15, and then the colored one is like $80,
Yeah.
and no one bought the white one.
Why wouldn't they buy the white one? It's so fun to like color it.
I
By
don't
the
know. It
way,
made so much.
Tommy is notorious for having that 90-degree angle to his leg. That's the whole funny part is you always catch him with his leg like 90 degrees.
Yeah, so this sculpt is done by Bernard on a bus to Baltimore.
From memory. Okay. All right. So the baby Yoda, there it is. We're gonna spin until a subscriber wins. Right. So I want to thank everybody again for all your support. Thank you all the new followers. Thank you all the old followers. Thank you all the new subscribers, the old subscribers. Thank you for the raid, Aurora. Thank you, Yojimbo, the world's greatest mod. Aurora, you better not steal Yojimbo away from me as the mod.
Yeah, he's a good mod.
He is
High
the best.
demand.
He is the only thing that we've so far come to know Yojimbo that Yojimbo doesn't know or didn't know was that there was a raid committee at Marvel to meet up. But now he knows, and that's 99.99% of all knowledge. So, oh, wow, Aurora just subscribed.
Thanks.
Aurora
Sure.
just subscribed. Thank you, Aurora. You didn't have to subscribe. Wow.
Yeah, you should all know that also the Baby Yoda is flat on the back, so it is not.
Is it? It is flat on the back. It's not
Yeah,
three-dimensional.
because this is not a two-part mold. This is a one-part. So you just pour it in there, and then it's just completely flat.
Oh.
So don't get carried away.
Okay,
So
you're gonna get it. You're gonna be like,
Tommy
oh,
is
disappointed.
that is fully is three-dimensional all the way around, but Yoda is flat.
Aurora gets an extra slice added today because she just subscribed. Good luck. Okay. All right. Here we go. Anybody else? You have anything to say, Sean, before we spin and then everybody leaves?
Oh no, I mean, just thanks for being here. Oh, check out Sue. Wear a costume. Can't wait to see what it is.
Sully is streaming tomorrow. Aurora, are you streaming tomorrow
Yeah,
also?
she's gonna dress up like a zombie.
I got the most awesome Halloween outfit, but it still hasn't come in the mail, and I don't think it will. But I was gonna be dressed. Oh, what just happened? See, somebody just.
Oh, so it's gonna be a hobbit. So there's no surprise. She'll be a hobbit with like big gnarly feet or something.
DYI Pickle just subscribed. Thank you, DYI Pickle. Let me add DYI Pickle. Give you another slice. DYI Pickle really wants this Yoda. We're milking it.
Sale.
We're milking it right now. Okay, 7 to 8. Lucky 8. Lucky 8. Yeah, we'll give the colored one later on, but today you get a blank one. You can color yourself. I mean, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
my
model paints.
What was did you make Halloween outfits for your kids, Sean?
No, not this year. I got a break. No Halloween outfits for the kids or that damn squirrel.
Oh, anime drinking game. That's Aurora. I found a bottle of beer that's 12 years old in my fridge. I'm thinking about drinking it on Tuesday stream. Maybe I'll drink it tomorrow.
Drink it on stream so we can see.
Yeah, I know. That's the whole
sick.
thing. I was gonna throw it out, but then I'm like, I should drink this on stream because I think people would like to see me get sick, and like have live diarrhea. I don't think I'll get sick. I think it'll just taste skunky. I mean, I think before I drink it, before I open it up, I think we'll run a couple of polls. We'll run like a bet, right? You can have a bet like, will Bernard throw up? Will Bernard poop his pants? will Bernard get sick? I don't know. You guys are creative. Um, I could even save some of it. I'll pour some out, put it in a bottle, seal it, and then mail it to somebody. I don't know. Besides, I'm actually a fan of food poisoning.
Oh, it can be very slimming.
Yeah, it's a great diet. I mean, you don't have to do anything except sit down on the toilet seat, lose like a few pounds in a day.
I remember at my wedding, you were trying to got married in Cancun or something like that, and
Yeah,
you were looking for food poisoning.
it's like, and it's the best diet because you can lose like 5 pounds in one day
Yeah, but no look. I mean, you were eating off every part in Mexico, and
and nothing.
fine.
I got an iron stomach, so um, I have very good probiotics in my stomach, I think. Is that such a thing to have good probiotics?
Well, there is flora and fauna in your gut for gut health. So
Uh-huh.
there's some people who lost a certain, they're missing some flora in their stomach, and the only way to get it back is to eat someone else's poop.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna eat poop, but I'll drink like 12-year-old beer. Um, I wonder how it tastes too. Anyways, everyone's waiting for us.
Alcohol is out.
Everyone's waiting for us to spin.
Happy
Hold on.
holidays, alcohol.
Wait, I'm gonna spin the wheel right now, Alcabone. You're actually a sub, so you can win. Don't you want
All
to?
right, you better spin
Okay,
it. I
I'm gonna
think
spin
people
the
are
wheel.
getting kind of antsy.
Good luck, everybody. It has to land on a subscribe. Ooh, Yo,
We should give
Jimbo.
away your poop in a pill.
Yo, Jimbo. Congratulations, Yo, Jimbo.
Oh, no way, really? Wow, our
Yeah.
hardworking mod.
Congratulations, Yo, Jimbo. I think that's Yo, Jimbo. Doesn't it say
It says
Yoji?
Yoji.
Yeah, that's Yo, Jimbo. Yoji. It's kind of
Okay,
like
well-
pinkish. There you
Oh,
go.
cool.
You can
Yeah,
next time you're down in
congratulations.
Maryland, you can drop it off. Actually,
Yeah,
wow,
but yeah, he's not gonna give me his address.
yeah,
I already have something I gotta send.
yeah, that's true. You got. I asked him for his address, and he still hasn't sent it to me. It's very
He just
private.
does not want to win.
Very private.
Okay.
Congratulations,
He's
Yo,
waiting
Jimbo.
to set up a PO box before. He doesn't want to give away his address.
Yeah. I mean, everybody that's gotten something has my address already.
All right. Well, I
I'm
guess
trusting that nobody.
stalkers
Better,
want to
like-
get into that infrared sauna.
Don't give it to Steve. Although Steve already knows where I live, but still, maybe if he loses his phone, it'll be off of his phone.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
It's legitimately a holiday
It
too
is.
tomorrow.
Happy holidays, everyone. See you next time. Thank you again. Happy holidays.
All right. Take care, guys.
Okay. How was that? Oh, you liked it? Thanks. I thought the face worked out okay towards the end. I didn't like it in the beginning. Like the chin goes too long. Wait, hold on, let me. How come this is not